college football on a simply gorgeous Saturday afternoon here at Penn State, where those tailgating fans are whetting their appetites for a possible Nittany Lions upset of third-ranked Alabama.
Appearance at Beaver Stadium. They are 1-1 in previous encounters. And now the Nittany Lions of Penn State. Alabama under new coach Ray Perkins has gotten off to a good start, winning their first 4 games 3 times, scoring 40 points or more. Penn State, the defending national champions, have struggled, losing their first 3 games, something that hasn't happened since 1964. Hi, everybody. What do the 2 coaches have to say about today's game? Well, Joe Paterno says he was embarrassed by those early losses. He said he got the team up tight. He wants them to loosen up, forget about it, and have fun playing today's football game. On the other hand, Ray Perkins knows he's unbeaten, but he hasn't really been tested yet. He thinks they're ready for this challenge today. He wants his team to play 60 minutes of football. He wants to find out what kind of football team they have. My broadcasting partner is Pat Hayden. Pat, the last time we did these 2 teams in Birmingham last year, they were unbeaten. The tide still is this year, but Penn State is struggling.
Well, Alabama is 4-0, but they've beaten teams they should have beaten. That's a sign of a good football team. Penn State has struggled, and their defense has been very disappointing.
You talk about quarterback traditions. What about Alabama? They have the Stablers and the Namaths and the Todds and now Walter Lewis.
Well, their success starts with Walter Lewis, number 10, their quarterback. George McIntyre of Vanderbilt says Alabama is just another average football team without Walter Lewis. Now, he's a man that has remarkable skills, but what makes him particularly hard to defend is his scrambling ability, the impromptu play. Now, Walter's going to be throwing to 2 outstanding wide receivers for Alabama. Number 4, Joey Jones. He's a young man that grew up in Mobile, Alabama, loves to hunt and fish. He's an outdoorsman. He's a small receiver, but he's tough. He loves to go over the middle and make those tough catches. On the other side is number 88, Jesse Bendros. Now, he's a deep threat, but he likes this new offense to move from the wishbone to the I formation. And Joe Paterno, he thinks he has some pretty good wide receivers as well. Take a look at number 82, Kenny Jackson. He's an excellent student, Kenny Jackson is, a finance major. Spent the last summer working in a stock brokerage house. He is an all-around football player. He holds 22 Penn State records. He's Penn State's first All-American receiver, and he's going to be complimented on the other side by number 11, Kevin Bow. Now, he's a man who could really do something after he catches the football, a dangerous punt returner as well. We have a wonderful day for college football. We have 4 of the country's outstanding wide receivers.
But Ray Perkins told us, Pat, that even though they have all these skilled people, it could be in the trenches this game is won. It does sound like a cliche, but he believes the line could win the game. This will be the 6th meeting between these 2 teams. Third-ranked Alabama against the Penn State Nittany Lions. Just a gorgeous, gorgeous day for football. Temperature 73 degrees, the leaves changing. No chance for any humidity or precipitation to be a factor in this game. We have a veteran, very knowledgeable crew from the Collegiate Independent Football Association. The referee is Joe Kleinschott out of Webster, New York, and kicking off is going to be Greg Montgomery, a freshman from Shrewsbury, New Jersey, and he hit it well. So Alabama on the touchback will set it up at the 20-yard line. And now here's the backfield and receivers for the Crimson Tide.
Quarterback Walter Lewis has completed 60% of his passes and thrown for 5 touchdowns.
And Bendros, you mentioned him and Jones. They will give that Penn State secondary fits up front. They feel that Hardy Walker's may be playing the best.
It's interesting. 4 of those 5 offensive linemen are from Huntsville, Alabama.
From the 20-yard line, Walter Lewis, number 10, a man that Ray Perkins is so excited about his performance this year. On the option, and Lewis has a first down. He fumbled the ball. It looks like Alabama has retained possession. Lewis, after the first down run, coming up with Thornton Chandler.
Isn't it interesting that Ray Perkins' first play against Penn State, and now Penn State's concerned about his passing, his running, his scrambling, but they come out and run an option play in the very first play. You have to defend the entire football field against Walter Lewis. There's the fumble, and there's the recovery by Alabama.
Thornton Chandler, the big tight end, with the fumble recovery. of scrimmage now, the 37. Lewis missed handoff. Lewis a little shaky in the early going. This time, Greg Gattuso made the tackle. And let's look now at that Penn State defense. There is Gattuso.
John Walter and Joe Hines, Greg Gattuso inside, are going to have to be concerned with the way Walter Lewis scrambles.
Scott Radisek. He was an academic All-American last year, and here's where the test comes.
Eric Garcia mentioned in the pregame show, 3 of these 4 people are playing out of position. They've given up a lot of big plays in the defensive backfield.
No gain or loss on the last play. 2nd and 10. Lewis to throw. Broken out the interior. Ben Gross, the intended receiver for Alabama. There's the first-year man coming over from the Giants. 41-year-old Ray Perkins from Penn, Mississippi. An All-American wide receiver for the Bear. He says, I'm not replacing him, I'm just following the Bear. The other side, a man who's been the head coach now going into his 18th season, Phil Paterno. 3rd down, 10. Lenny Patrick in motion for the Tide. Lewis. Patrick fighting for the first down. It's going to be close. Lenny Patrick out of Chester, Alabama. Making the catch. Carmen Antonio making the tackle for Penn State.
There we look at Lenny Patrick, Gary. Early in the game, Ray Perkins wants to test this defensive backfield. There he worked on Mark Robinson, number 32, the corner, who was a free safety, actually an All-American free safety last year. Worked to his side in the short side of the field early in the football game. That's what he wants to do.
It was a first down, a pickup of 11, almost 12 yards. Robinson has come out of there now, and Fluhan has replaced him at the corner for Penn State. Give to Ricky Moore, the fullback. Maybe a yard, and that's all. Steve Sefter, number 41, and Massi Antonio, Oklahoma State. A lot of people may not realize they are unbeaten going into that game. 2nd down, 9 from the 50.
Most people do know Nebraska is unbeaten.
I would assume that. Split out Jones, Pendrose, Moore, Patrick in the backfield. This is Patrick. Joe Hines, 52 is there. Joe Hines, who's been a little inconsistent this year in his defensive play, a 6-yard loss.
Well, you're going to see Joe Hines, number 52. He slips in right in between 2 flowing guards. Now, the center should step over and pick him up. He did not. That allowed Joe Hines to come in and tackle Lenny Patrick for the loss.
So Lewis now has a 3rd and 15. There is Robinson, who came out a moment ago, and it looks like the injury's a reason.
They can't afford that in their defensive backfield.
Here's the scrambling ability of Lewis, and he slips down. He lost a yard on the play. John Walter, 86, was over there, and the Tide will have to kick.
You mentioned that he slipped, Gary. This is the first time that Alabama this year has played on natural grass. Every other game has been on AstroTurf, where you get better traction.
Oklahoma leading Texas. North Carolina continuing unbeaten. Malcolm Simmons will punt for Alabama. We were not sure he would even punt. He got hurt last week. He injured a knee when he had a player blocked into him. He's a left footer. Fine kick. Kevin Fowl from the 20. Nice spinning move out to the 29-yard line. A 39-yard punt. An 11-yard return by Kevin Fowl. An exciting performer out of Deer Park, New York. Chester Bragg's making the tackle. Offensively, we've heard a lot about Dozier.
Well, Doug Strang is trying to replace the departed Todd Blackledge, and that's where some of the problems have been. He's gotten better over the last couple of games.
D.J. Dozier going for what he hopes is his 4th straight 100-yard game. Up front, McGinnis was a starter last year.
And watch Nick Hayden, the center.
Nice name he has there. We have an injured player. We have a delay in the action. No score from Beaver Stadium. A junior from Morrow, Georgia, Dante Bromlett, is a linebacker being assisted from the field. The Alabama defense has been tough. They've been holding teams to about 74 yards rushing a game. And so the Nittany Lions will set it up from the 29.
You mentioned Alabama's defense. They don't have the dominant players they've had in the past, the Mike Pitts, the Jeremiah Casteels, the Tommy Wilcox, but they played very well as a unit. They're well coached. They're disciplined. You don't see them out of alignment much.
They had a problem starting the year with their secondary. It was inexperienced, losing guys like Tommy Wilcox and Jeremiah Castile. But they've seemingly done a very good job. But today will be the day they feel they'll be tested. Understand that Mark Robinson, who we saw on the bench earlier, has a twisted ankle. The tape's been cut off, and they're looking at it. So we don't know whether he'll be back or not for Penn State. But the 29, Doug Strang, the quarterback. Intended for Bow at the 45-yard line. Too tall, as Kevin Bow at 5'9", just couldn't get up high enough. David Poletto, 18, for Alabama defending. Now let's look at this Alabama defense.
John Hand, the big man inside, 6'7", 280 pounds.
Rodriguez, maybe the strongest player. There's some of the young people they have at linebacker.
Emmanuel King, the outside linebacker, has had 6 sacks this season so far. And Stan Gain, the defensive backfield, is the only experienced player.
Robinson, by the way, has 2 interceptions. 2nd and 10 now for the Nittany Lions. Dozier, DJ Dozier. Oh, what quickness. Dozier was about a yard short of the first down. A 9-yard pickup. Steve Booker, a senior from Huntsville, made the tackle.
Our first look at freshman DJ Dozier, number 42. He's going to run over Ron Heller and Todd Bowles right off the tackle. He picks his block. It reminds me a lot of Ricky Bell. You see the way he stands up and runs tall, but he picks his holes very well.
That was a number the Bell wore, wasn't it?
You're absolutely right.
3rd down, a yard. He's moving on the record of Matt Suey that you see on the screen. In motion, Kenny Jackson trying to go for the first down as Tony Mumford is going to be very close. Tony Mumford, a junior, who's been moved to the fullback spot. There is Brentlett, the man taken from the field moments ago. They're short of the first down. It's 4th down.
This is one thing Joe Paterno wanted to avoid, 3 plays and out. That's what's hurt them last week against Rutgers. It's hurt their offense all year long.
Watch this man, number 17, Greg Richardson, a freshman. He had a 62-yard touchdown return against Mississippi. George Reynolds to kick. He hit it well. Very well. Good coverage. Line down there. Fruhan. Art Fruhan, 92. And Alabama comes away with very poor field position. A 49-yard kick that time by George Reynolds. Alabama will set it up deep at their end. Pat Hayden, Beaver Stadium, State College, Pennsylvania. For the 2nd time, Alabama has the football, but not where they'd like to have it, at the 12. Ricky Moore, Lenny Patrick behind Walter Lewis, the quarterback. A little delay to Patrick. Patrick gets a little operating room to the 15. Gattuso with the stop. And now let's go to New York for the NCAA report. Here is Brent Musburger.
Gary, they haven't started the second half. Here's the touchdown you reported on early. Oklahoma State taking the lead on Nebraska. It was Ike Jackson to Jamie Harris. With about a minute and a half to go in the first half, 10-7. Let's go back to Gary and Pat.
Brent, it looks like you've got a real game going down there in Stillwater. 2nd down, 7, pitch to Lenny Patrick, and Patrick has a first down for Alabama, out across the 25 to the 26. Darrell Giles, number 28, a redshirt freshman who they feel was one of the keys defensively for the Nittany Lions, made the tackle. You notice number 92, Fruhan is in there. He's the man in place of Mark Robinson.
And like we said earlier, they can't afford any injuries in the defensive backfield. Fruhan started the season, was replaced, they shifted people around, now he's back in.
First down for the Tide from the 26. No score. 9:32 left, first quarter. Patrick. 35. Patrick with another first down to the 42-yard line. Lenny Patrick, worlds of ability, seemingly always in Bear Bryant's doghouse. But what a run here.
Lenny Patrick, you mentioned he has a lot of potential. He never quite reached it. As we said earlier, a lot of people have potential. You have to step forward into the short side of the field. Another power play into the short side of the field, the place that Mark Robinson vacated.
That was Sefter and Walter eventually making the tackle. A 16-yard pickup by Patrick, who already has 23 yards. First down. A delay to Ricky Moore. Moore, big, strong junior from Huntsville. Stopped by Gattuso. Good pickup on the play of 5 yards. Moore weighs in at 235. The problem that he has so often is he gets his hands so beat up because he's always double covering that football as he hits up the middle. Second down, a short 5. This is Moore. First down. Boy, he is a load to tackle. Stopped at the 41. That's an 11-yard pickup. Eventually stopped number 36 or 26.
Here early in the first quarter, it looks like Alabama is trying to attack the perimeter. Again, when you have weak corners, as Penn State is right now, they're playing very soft. They're not getting up to support, so Alabama is going right after them at the perimeter.
Wisconsin leading Illinois after that big win the Illini had over Iowa last week. First down at the Penn State 41. Patrick. 5, 10, 15, a 17-yard pickup. Harry Hamilton, 17, made the tackle.
One more look at Lenny Patrick lined up in the I formation. Remember last year he was a wishbone halfback. Into the short side of the field one more time. Picks up a couple of nice blocks by Hardy Walker there. Mike Adcock. He's finally brought down by Harry Hamilton, preventing the touchdown. Watch the blocks here, right? There's a little hole there, a little crease. Lenny Patrick to step his way through. Makes Giles miss.
Patrick had 116 yards against Vanderbilt, and he's off to a good start in this one. Lewis. Lewis stays on his feet to the 16-yard line. Very resourceful run that time by Lewis. Don Graham, 53, out of Pittsburgh, a redshirt freshman, credited with the tackle for Joe Paterno's team.
That looked like one of those predetermined calls. We talked about that earlier in the week, Gary, when Walter Lewis has some plays where they predetermine that he's going to sprint out and scramble and carry the ball. That was one of those.
And that was an 8-yard pickup. Joe Carter now is checked into the backfield, replacing Patrick. This is Carter. Carter apparently a yard short of the first down at the 15. It was Graham again, and Joe Hines, 52. On the 15-yard line, it'll bring up 3rd and 1. A sellout, over 83,000 here in Happy Valley, the home of the defending national champion, Penn State. Now backed up at the 15-yard line as this man's team, Ray Perkins, looking good in their second possession. No score thus far. 3rd and a yard. Carter hit from behind by Gattuso. The ball is loose, but I believe, let's see. It was down. Now, the tackle by Gattuso wasn't in time to stop that first down run. Gattuso, a leader out of Pittsburgh.
Take another look at Joe Carter one more time into the short side of the field. Penn State is going to have to either slant to that side or bring another defender over because Alabama is bent on running into the short side of the football field.
You could see also, Pat, on that replay that the runner was definitely down, Carter, so the ball was dead. They didn't get it. They did not get it. It's 4th down. So Ray Perkins has a decision to make. His field goal kicker is just excellent. Van Tippen out of Red Bay, Alabama's hit 9 of 12 this year. One of them a school record, 51 yards. They're going for it. Lewis, he got it. Scott Radisek eventually making the stop, but Alabama converts it and has the first down just short of the 12. Joe Paterno, a scholarly type man. 90% of his athletes have received their degrees here at Penn State.
It's a record he should be proud of.
Alabama's 7 first downs. Penn State still looking for their first. Lewis to Patrick. Gattuso there again. Gattuso making very good penetration. 12 Well, we mentioned the Tide thus far winning statistically this battle. It'll be second down, still 9 yards.
The first time on this series that Penn State has held Alabama under 5 yards on first down.
This time, Fendros and Jones are split out at the top and the bottom. Lewis, some more. Boy, he's strong, isn't he? John Graham, though, hanging on. Number 53 out of Brentwood High School in Pittsburgh, and he wouldn't give up. The end result is going to bring up third down and still 7 yards to go. Alabama defense scored on early by Nebraska. Iowa been getting a little bit tougher. They'd like to hold here. Lewis, did he get it? Touchdown, Joey Jones. Walter Lewis, who had 3 touchdown passes last week. So what a catch by Joey Jones. 88-yard drive that time, giving Alabama the lead. Van Tippen, the man we were talking about earlier, to attempt the point after. Holding will be Malcolm Simmons. And the third-ranked Crimson Tide, unbeaten coming into here. Off to an impressive start with 4:34 left in this first quarter.
The new look Alabama offense. In this situation, they had 2 tight ends in, just 1 back. You see Walter Lewis waiting for Joey Jones, his split end, to come underneath. He beats the defender there. Number 43, Mike Zordich. Now remember, Zordich is playing out of position. He was a linebacker earlier in the year. Joey Jones pushes down off him. Clearly beats Zordich. The ball is low, but Joey Jones goes down and catches it.
That was the only pass on that drive, but it netted 6 points. The Tide lead it by 7. Very intelligent man, Walter Lewis. He has just thrown his 6th touchdown pass of the year. Terry Sanders, number 2, will kick off for the Tide. Skeeter Nichols, Kevin Powell back deep for Penn State. The Lions trailing 7-0. Boy, was that kick high. Kevin Powell out to the 20. Let's go back to New York now for an NCAA report. Here's Brent.
Gary, it is student body left here for Texas. They'll pull both guards in front of their talented freshman running back, Edwin Simmons. He's in from the 8 now, and Texas and Oklahoma are tied at 7 in the second quarter. Back to Gary and Pat.
Pat, how many good freshman running backs have we seen? You just saw Simmons score there. We've got Dozier in this game.
We had Bo Jackson last year. There's been a dominance of freshman running backs in college football the past 5 years. Herschel Walker.
First down for the Nittany Lions. Doug Strang back to throw. Pumps. Dominio, he's got it. Dean Dominio, touchdown Penn State. Touchdown pass from Strang to Dean Dominio. His 3rd touchdown catch of the year. Cacciatano will add the point after. And it's all even at 7.
Jared Paterno may be back, Gary.
Boy, what confidence that has to give Doug Strang.
We have said that Doug Strang has gotten better each week. Early in the year against Nebraska, he was a little shell shocked. We're going to take a look at here from the end zone. Doug Strang. Now, he is not trying to go to Dean Dominio first. He's trying to go outside to Kenny Jackson. You see him pump there. Jackson is covered. He comes off him, throws the ball deep. Over the 2 defenders to number 89, Dean Dominio. Now, he's a tight end. He's 6'3", weighs 211 pounds, but he outruns Valetto and Freddie Robinson, number 21, into the end zone for 7.
Dominio does not have great speed. He's kind of a dogged type performer. He's got the job here.
You see somebody's in his face, the bomb over the defenders. That's the way to come back for Penn State.
ties for the third longest touchdown pass in Penn State history. An 80-yarder. It's all tied up.
Make your move to Chevrolet's new Celebrity. Move into the comfort of more passenger room.
Dominating up to that point. Ray Perkins. Anthony had a thing to say to his secondary. Picked up by Joe Carter. Carter out to the 30-yard line. All right, let's go for another update now. Report from New York. Here's Brent Musburger again.
Gary, we got a wild one, and Nebraska has just gone ahead. Here's Turner Gill rolling to the left on a beautiful fake. He hits his tight end Todd Frame. Defensive coverage mistake. No one was over there. 14-10 Nebraska. Back to Gary and Pat.
Thank you, Brett. We're glad to see those replays. Keep updated. We have some football today on CBS. First down just across the 30-yard line. Or Patrick, the running back, behind Lewis. Here's Patrick. That'll be about a 4-yard pickup on the play. Don Graham again on the tackle. Approaching 4 minutes to go in this first quarter, and we've had a lot happen. Patrick with that carry now has 45 yards on 7 efforts. Boy, Pittsburgh, Florida State having quite a battle. Virginia lost their first last week. Second down and 6. Ricky Moore. Moore with a first down burst. That'll move it out to the 49-yard line. Radisek, Scott Radisek, number 97, linebacker, making the tackle for Penn State.
We told you that the Penn State defense has been the soft spot all year. They played like the Stanford band. You're going to see some soft spots here as number 26, Ricky Moore, just picks his way through the holes created by a draw fake by Walter Lewis.
First down run, sets it up at the 48. Vendros, Jones flanked out. Lewis to Patrick. Patrick fumbles the ball. It's going to be the Nittany Lions football.
This is the third or fourth time that Alabama has lost the ball. This time they lost it before he has gone down. Lenny Patrick is just a sweet play that they've run earlier in the game with some success. The pitch to Lenny Patrick. He's fallen with fullback Ricky Moore, who puts a nice block there on number 17, Harry Hamilton. He goes down, the ball pops out, and there are some Penn State defenders to make the recovery.
He has a cast on that right arm, but he naturally carries the ball in his left arm anyway. So he lost it from the left, but Penn State has it.
He should have been carrying it on the right side when you're going to the right.
From the 48, the Nittany Lions. Strang. Pressure from Emmanuel King. Gets it off to Dozier. DJ Dozier. Just short of the 45-yard line. Billy Pierce, 14, made the tackle. The Dozier picked up 7 yards.
Penn State early in the game, there is a flag on the play there, Gary, but Penn State has had 5 offensive plays, and they've called 3 passes.
That's going to be tackling by the face mask on DJ Dozier. DJ Dozier is showing he can catch the ball. That's what they really like, him coming out of the backfield. That's the man that came up with the fumble recovery, Mike Russo, 67.
You're going to get a look at the face mask penalty right here. Number 14, Billy Pierce puts the face mask right there. The officials there to make the call. It gives Penn State a first down.
Billy Pierce from Crossett, Arkansas, transferred from the University of Arkansas to play at Alabama. First down from the 40 up to the penalty. Dozier. Dozier picking up 3, maybe 4. Out of Virginia, beats Virginia, weighs 195. John Hand, Mike Rodriguez makes the tackle for the Crimson Tide. A capacity crowd watching a game that thus far has had some explosions. 7-7 our score. NCAA football on CBS. Skeeter Nichols comes into the backfield along with Dozier. 2.5 left in the first quarter. Strang, wide open bounce. He'll take it down the sideline. Touchdown. strike. Cacciatano, point after. And Penn State has taken a 14-7 lead.
They look from the end zone. The key to this play is the protection that Doug Strang gets. Now, you're going to see a blitz. You see the linebackers coming right inside. Dozier steps up, picks up his man. He got good protection. That left man-to-man coverage, though. Kevin Bell breaks the tackle. We told you that he was very good after he catches the football. Here's an example of it. You're going to see a little cut inside. That's 6.
Doug Strang, they decided to make him the starting quarterback after the 3rd game. I think maybe that was a good decision the way he's playing today.
And it's kind of interesting the way they decided on Doug Strang. They look back to his high school career. There you're looking at Kevin Bell, but Doug Strang's high school career, he won a high school basketball championship, won a high school football championship. They felt that he was a competitor, and that's why they decided to go with him.
For every point they score, the Nittany Lion will go to work. Greg Montgomery will kick off. Back deep, Joe Carter, along with Billy Pierce. to 7, Penn State. Boy, this kid really gets into him. That's the 2nd time he's put it out of the end zone. Well, a reminder to be with us tomorrow. We're going to have a doubleheader day on CBS Sports. In the first game, how about the Super Bowl champion Washington Redskins? They're rolling. They're 4-1. They're going to go against the St. Louis Cardinals, an Eastern Division rival. Then in the feature doubleheader game, Tampa Bay still looking for a win, going against the unbeaten Dallas Cowboys. New York viewers will see one game, the Philadelphia Eagles against the New York Giants. It all starts with the NFL Today. From the 20, Alabama trailing by 7. On the option, Lewis, gain of 5. Looked like he had a notion to pitch. Harry Hamilton, 17, the hero, or better known by strong safety, made the tackle for Penn State.
But it's interesting what Alabama is trying to do with Walter Lewis. We've seen him throw the ball. He threw the ball for a touchdown to Joey Jones. We've seen him roll out and scramble. We've seen him run a couple of option plays. He is a very versatile athlete, and Ray Perkins is going to take advantage of all of his skills.
Moore and Joe Carter, the running backs, behind Lewis on 2nd down. A delay to Carter. Carter, first down run. That advances to the 38. James Conlon, a freshman, making the tackle. He's number 31. We understand, Pat, that Mark Robinson, who was hurt on that first defensive series, has been taken inside for x-rays of that ankle. That's exactly what they didn't want with Robinson out of this game.
We certainly hope he's all right.
First down for the Tide. Carter again. Carter, pick up a 5. Bob Untko, 93, yet another freshman. A young defense of Penn State now, trying to protect the 7-point lead. Now some changes coming in. Gattuso comes back in.
Well, they're making so many changes because they're on the field so doggone long. They're giving up too much on first down.
Coming into this game, they have allowed too many points, 37 in average per game. 2nd, a long 3. Carter. That is Hamilton. Harry Hamilton stops him. 3rd down coming up.
You take a look there at Harry Hamilton. This is an adjustment that Penn State and Joe Paterno has made earlier in the game. Harry Hamilton, the strong safety, played to the wide side of the field. We saw Alabama run play after play into the short side of the field. Well, Harry Hamilton has moved over to the short side. He made the play there.
We're winding down to the end of this first quarter. Moore, Carter in the backfield. The wideouts are split top to bottom. 3rd and 3. Lewis, and he dives for that first down, I believe. Harry Hamilton and Bob White over there, and that is what he is. He's an explosion with the ball when he gets in that open field. First down for Alabama. How do you defend that?
Play with 13 men.
Joe would do it, I think, if he could get away with it. From the 49 now, Alabama has the ball with the first down. Harry Good a freshman, number 35 in the backfield, along with Ricky Moore. This is good. They expect big things from this freshman. Out of Town Creek, Alabama, Joe Hines, 52, making the tackle. And we have come to the end of our first quarter of play. Some fireworks. 2 long touchdown strikes by Doug Strang and Penn State. They enjoy a 7-point advantage. To quarter number 2 at Beaver Stadium. Alabama has the ball, 2nd and 6. Jumping around, Penn State. Flags on the play. Gives straight ahead to Ricky Moore. Don Graham, 53, making the tackle. Flag thrown at the top of the field, the far side. It's going to be offside against the Nittany Lions. Thus far, both teams play mechanically very well. They're going to refuse it, as Alabama instead has a first down on the run. Line of scrimmage now at the Penn State 38. Shows you statistics can be misleading in some ways, can't they? Look at the rushing yardage.
Unbelievable. 146 yards, most of those into the short side. Lenny Patrick following some blocks. Walter Lewis has mixed it up very well. A couple of passes, the pass for the touchdown. A couple of sprint outs where he scrambled, picked up a big first down.
But I think the most misleading statistic is the fact that Alabama in the first quarter, Pat, had the ball over 12 minutes. Penn State 2.5.
Penn State's defense cannot hold up if they're on the field that long.
Lewis on a first down. Very good. And good for a couple of yards. Gattuso, who's been called often as one of the tacklers, along with Radicek, combining on the stop. We have been told that we have a new record attendance here, 85,614. Last year, the record was set at the Penn State game. They've flipped that today.
How do they do that? Capacity is only supposed to be 83,000. I don't understand how they...
Standing room, I guess. 2nd down, 9. Lewis intended for the tight end, Thornton Chandler. Chandler, all 6'6" of him, couldn't reach back for it.
Just another person you have to defend when you play the new Alabama offense. You can see Walter Lewis again on the perimeter. He's been there all afternoon. He throws to his tight end. He is 6'6", but the ball is thrown behind him. So you see that he was wide open.
You get the feeling every once in a while that Lewis still isn't completely comfortable with the new offense. Going from the wishbone of a year ago to the process. 3rd down, 8 yards. Going to get the first down. There is, I believe, another penalty flag. Is that a flag at the 30-yard line? It is. Don Graham coming up to make the tackle. They had him stopped on 3rd, but we'll wait on the penalty. Holding against Penn State.
Boy, that hurts you. Should have been 4th and 1 there now. Instead, Alabama's going to accept the penalty.
4th-ranked North Carolina still unbeaten. Ohio State defeating Purdue. A Buckeyes only loss coming to Iowa.
Holding, blue, first down.
So instead of 4th down, it's 1st down.
The defense keeps this up. Doug Strang's going to have to throw 4 or 5 more 80-yard touchdown passes.
Good remains in the backfield along with Ricky Moore. 1st down at the 21. This is good. 15-yard line. Scott Radicek over to make the tackle. Good seeing some action, not only because of his ability, but because Patrick has the cast on the arm. He had the one fumble. Carter is playing with a bad shoulder. There's Radicek. They feel like he's been playing a little tired this year.
They've been disappointed with all their linebackers. They felt like they played soft.
Out of Pittsburgh, a preseason All-American pick. 2nd down, a long 4. Good. Good, breaks it to the 5. He fumbled the ball. Alabama has retained possession. What a fine run by Good.
One more time into the short side of the field. Kerry Good follows his blockers, cuts back inside and breaks the tackle. Penn State is going to have to adjust, though, and shift some more men into the short side of the field to take this play away. Here he comes over the top. One more look at the fumble. Kerry Good, number 35. You see, there's the hit. He's down. The ball is down. Good call by the official.
We have another man down for Penn State. We'll check his number for you. The ball will be just short of the goal line. That's Rogers Alexander, sophomore from Riverdale, Maryland. Let's take another look at Good's run. He's running with a lot of reckless abandon here, isn't he?
You see he gets hit by 43, Mike Zordich, over the top. Now see down, the shoulder down. The ball does pop out there. The ball is free right there. I think that really should have been a fumble, Gary, as I look at that again. Who recovered? 81, the tight end, Thornton Chandler, the tight end from Alabama, recovered that ball.
That's the second time he's recovered a fumble. Earlier, Lewis lost one. We're going to have a delay. Penn State hanging on to a 7-point lead. Crowd at Beaver Stadium. The homestanding Nittany Lions with a 7-point lead, but Alabama is less than a yard away from trying to tie this game up. This is the 13th play on this drive. Alabama starting from their own 20-yard line. Walter Lewis, he fumbled it. And Joe Hines is on it. I want to see this replay.
Joe Hines, a very, very happy young man. Here's some disappointed Alabama team right there. Let's take a look from the side. I think what you're going to see happen is tremendous penetration here by the Penn State defensive front. They got right underneath the center, Wes Neighbors, and you see the ball pop out. But the penetration of Penn State's defensive line hurt the timing between Walter Lewis and his center, Wes Neighbors.
And so Penn State has the ball now at the 5-yard line. Alabama making many mistakes in this game. Here's Dozier. Flag on the play. D.J. Dozier close to the 10-yard line. Billy Pierce, 14, making the tackle for the tie. He's holding against the Nittany Lions.
It really has been incredible how many times that Alabama has either fumbled the ball or nearly fumbled the ball this first half. Turnovers. Alabama turned the ball over twice, and there have been a couple other opportunities where they've had the ball on the ground and the officials have ruled the ball dead, or Thornton Chandler has recovered the ball.
But as you mentioned, that Penn State defense has played an awful lot of time in this first half. I'm sure Joe Paterno would like to somehow get out of this, get some sustained offense.
Illegal use of the hand, low, first down.
John Williams has now come into the backfield, number 44 for Penn State. He was the starting fullback a year ago, but he's been plagued with knee trouble. Penalty now makes it 1st and 12. Kenny Jackson in motion. Here is John Williams. Gets a little room out to close to the 5-yard line.
Just to let you know how long Penn State's defense has been on the field, the time of possession, Alabama's had the ball for 14 minutes and 21 seconds. Penn State's only had it for 2 minutes and 43 seconds.
But the Nittany Lions would not trade you that statistic on the scoreboard. They lead by 7.
That's the important one.
Again, Williams and Skeeter Nichols to the backfield and whistle. All kinds of movement on that play. Let's take this opportunity to remind you that Pat and I will be selecting the Chevrolet Most Valuable Player from each of the teams, and Chevrolet donates a $1,000 scholarship to the General Scholarship Fund at each school. The MVP receives a certificate from Chevrolet acknowledging his outstanding performance.
You're going to let me vote this week, huh?
What do you mean?
That ball, illegal procedure, little second down.
That amounts to a 2-yard penalty, half the distance. So it'll be 2nd and 12. There's 44 Williams. He had a skiing accident that hurt his knee. Then he hurt his other knee in a game against Iowa. Skeeter Nichols. Nichols did a fine job getting additional yardage to the 9. We're going to bring up third down. Stan Gay, 28, making the stop for Alabama. 11:43 to go until halftime, and at half, we'll go back to New York. Brandon Era and all of those scores, updates on the Oklahoma-Texas game, Oklahoma State-Nebraska. 3rd and 6. Strang to Williams. Did he get the first down? He did. Steve Booker made the stop. A 9-yard pickup.
A courageous call by Joe Paterno. It's 3rd and 6. He's backed up, but he throws a safe pass. Doug Strang gets excellent protection. You're going to see him come off and throw the ball to number 44, John Williams. John Williams shows some determination. Picks up a block there by Skeeter Nichols. Enough for the first down.
Strang 4 of 5 now, 135 yards. Cornelius Bennett comes in at linebacker, a freshman for Alabama. Jackson in motion. Strang to Williams. John Williams.
We're watching the maturation of Doug Strang as a quarterback. We mentioned that tough start he got off against Nebraska early in the season, but he's gotten better each week. The coaching staff is pleased with his progress, and he's played very, very well today. You can see him becoming more and more confident.
Out of Linwood, New Jersey, the same school that produced Greg Butler. 2nd and 5. Williams into the wing position. Strang gives to Skeeter Nichols. Nichols out to the 27. Kurt Jarvis. Another penalty flag, however, back inside the 20-yard line. Alabama indicating it's against Penn State. Illegal procedure. Well, they battled back from 2 other penalties on this drive. Can they do it again? I think what was interesting on this series, as you look at Joe Paterno, is that John Williams is inserted into that very tense situation. They knew he would hang on to the ball. He would show his experience around that goal line.
Well, he is the senior. He's a very good receiver, and he's a determined player. He wants very much to get back into the lineup.
Illegal procedure, blue, 2nd down.
You saw those scores, and we'll have highlights on both those games at halftime. So after the penalty, 2nd and 10. Look at Iowa. Maryland with only 1 loss this year. Strang on 2nd and 10. He is sacked for the first time at the 10-yard line. Emmanuel King, 92, out of Leroy, Alabama. We were so impressed with him on film.
He is a big man. He's 6'3", 232 pounds, and he's very, very quick. That is his 7th sack this season.
And that obviously leads his team. It'll be 3rd and 18 now. Again, Strang showing poise. Didn't throw the ball, get into difficulty.
He's got to come up with something here, otherwise Alabama is going to have very good field position.
Williams and Nichols in the backfield. I give to Nick, or check that, John Williams, and he dives to the 15, but they'll have to kick the football. We understand we need to correct a Oklahoma-Texas score. It's halftime now. It's 7-7. The Longhorns and Sooners. Pat O'Brien is in the Cotton Bowl, and at halftime they'll be joining him for an update. To kick the ball, it's going to be George Reynolds. The last time he kicked it 49 yards. This is Greg Richardson. And he hit another boomer. Oh, is he kicking the ball today? Richardson from the 32. Good special teams play by Penn State. A 53-yard kick by number 30. A 7-yard return. Chris Sidnor making the stop for Penn State. Alabama has it once again down by St. Lyon on his perch high above Beaver Stadium. As his Nittany Lions with a 7-point lead with 8:34 to go until halftime. Alabama, after that 53-yard punt, has it at the 39-yard line. Check 97, the middle linebacker. This is the best field position that Alabama's had to start a drive. Lewis deflected and intercepted. Conlon. Shane Conlon, number 31, comes up with it. You know, in all the preparation we do for a football game, Pat, Conlon was not even listed on the 3D. He played this whole first half.
It always seems to happen. And he has played very, very well. From the end zone, Walter Lewis, again, trying to work into the short side of the field against those inexperienced cornerbacks of Penn State. The ball is tipped as Walter Lewis throws this ball. The ball is tipped right there by Massantonio, number 84, and there comes Conlon, 31, to make the interception. Good teamwork.
3 turnovers against Alabama. Sets the ball up at the Penn State 44. Strang going to try to convert it right now. Open is Kurt Bowman. Kurt Bowman. 26-yard play.
Let's watch a very confident Doug Strang, number 18. Again, excellent protection. He drills the ball to his tight end, number 80, Kurt Bowman. You'll remember him. He is the man who caught those touchdown passes, 2 touchdown passes against Nebraska right here last year.
One of them with 4 seconds left in the game. Strang is 5 of 6, 161 yards, 2 touchdowns. Tim Robinson split out along with Kenny Jackson for the Lions. Gives it John Williams. And Williams is pounded pretty good as he's inside the 30, a pickup of 2. Emmanuel King, 92, was there. Walter Lewis, the veteran, has struggled. He has 3 turnovers in this game, the last one the interception.
You mentioned at the beginning of the show, Gary, that Ray Perkins was disappointed that his team has not played 60 minutes of football. They've come out here in the first half, turned the ball over 3 times. They've driven the length of the field, but only have 7 points on the board.
Kevin Bow is checked back in at wide receiver. John Williams moves to the wing spot. 2nd down and 8. Strang. He hits Williams, and Williams is drilled immediately. That's about 1 yard on the play. Scott McRae, 45, with a tackle, and there's the interceptor, or the interceptor, I should say, number 31. Or maybe it's the interceptee.
Either or, there's Shane Conlon, number 31.
He's out of Frewsburg, New York. And in all honesty, we didn't expect him to play today.
He's got a nice neck brace.
3rd down, 7. But I expect the injury to Mark Robinson, they had to go a little deeper in that depth. Kenny Jackson in motion. Dozier. Smith Gady. 1st down. Rocky Colburn on the stop, but 13-yard pickup.
How would you like to stop DJ Dozier for the next 4 years? Watch it come right at you. He is a big man, 195 pounds. Rocky Colburn sticks his helmet in there and does put the stop on him. But you're going to see 4 more years of DJ Dozier.
At the 14-yard line. 1st down. He needs only 8 yards to set a freshman rushing record held by Matt Suey. Strang over the top down. 2nd down. Paul Tripoli, 23, defending from the cornerback spot. Tim Robinson will come in with a play, and Kevin Bow will exit. From Beaver Stadium, State College, Pennsylvania. 3rd-ranked Alabama trailing by 7, maybe by more, if Penn State can convert this drive. 6 minutes to go in the first half. 2nd and 10. Skeeter Nichols inside the 10 with a 5. Very close to a 1st and goal.
We saw the finesse of this Penn State football team early in the first quarter, in the first half, throwing the ball. Now you're going to see some power. Number 24, Skeeter Nichols, as he goes over to his outstanding center, Nick Hayden, for a big play. And it's going to be 3rd and 1. A big hole there for Skeeter Nichols. Again, over the block of Hayden. Right down there, it's going to be 3rd and 1 on the 5-yard line.
Penn State has asked for a timeout. They have a third down, less than a yard to go for a first and goal. They have a 14-7 lead. Is Beaver Stadium on the campus of Penn State University. The Nittany Lions right now shocking the third-ranked Alabama Crimson Tide. They have gone through the airways. An 38-yard touchdown pass, and now they have it third down, less than a yard to go at the 5-yard line of Alabama. I'm Gary Bender along with Pat Hayden. And Penn State, who last year won the national championship, starting off slowly this year, but now they're playing like national champions. Baltimore now leading that series 3-1.
That series is over. Baltimore will go to the World Series. They win the title 3-1.
Baltimore 3-0. The Orioles rolling. This is the 7th play on the drive. From the 5. They need about a half yard to get a first and goal. Strang with Jackson and Robinson wide receivers. Gives to Dozier, the freshman. And that's going to be very, very close. Billy Pierce coming up from the safety spot. Number 49, Steve Booker was there. Emmanuel King. And so Alabama coming in here unbeaten, 4-0, feeling they were going to be tested for the first time, and they have been tested. But they've been their own worst enemy. They have turned the football over 3 times. On the other hand, Doug Strang, the junior quarterback for Penn State, has been brilliant, throwing 2 touchdown passes. We have a mix-up by Penn State now. They may have to call a timeout and will. They had people scurrying off and on the field. And now they have only 1 timeout remaining. Kenny Jackson started on the field. Then he went off. And so, 4th down, less than a yard to go. Joe Paterno has a decision. Joe Paterno, who has won 84 games. He's lost only 16 here at Beaver Stadium. Let's look at that first Alabama touchdown.
It was down on the 8-yard line. Walter Lewis drops back and throws to his wideout, number 4. Joey Jones was wide open, beats the defensive back, Mike Zordich, number 43. And here is the first Penn State touchdown. Doug Strang, number 18, stepping in, pumping right, once to his right, and then goes way downfield to his tight end, number 89, Dean DeMidio, over the defenders for an 80-yard touchdown play.
And then there was a 38-yard one to Kevin Bow. This is Nick Cacciatano, who's going to attempt a field goal. He's 7 of 8, a 21-yard attempt. Holding is Tim Parker. He hit it. And Penn State has taken a 17-7 lead. The Nittany Lions right now in an upset mode against unbeaten Alabama. State has added 3 points to their advantage. A 21-yard field goal. Less than 5 minutes to go in this first half. And this crowd, a record crowd, I don't expect or suspect that they anticipated this kind of game.
It's been fun to watch.
Joe Carter back deep for the time. And almost stepping out of bounds is Lenny Patrick as he fields it. That could have been a very bad play if he'd stepped out back at the 10. Instead, he advances out to the 26-yard line. Mike Suter making the tackle for Penn State. Second-ranked Texas is trailing Oklahoma. Pat O'Brien is down there in the Cotton Bowl, and he'll update that. The second-ranked team is losing, and the third-ranked team right now that we're watching here in this happy valley of State College, Pennsylvania. Alabama trailing. Lenny Patrick. Oh, and he bent backwards. Steve Schefter, 41.
We're watching a very fired-up Penn State defense. They've given up a lot of yardage here in the first half, but look at Alabama's offense in their last 3 possessions. They fumbled in the second one, and they've thrown an interception. They have not done a very good job offensively.
We understand there's 5 minutes left in that game in Stillwater. They'll have scores and highlights at halftime. We'll be joining Brett and Aaron. You see Lenny Patrick limping off the field. Joe Carter has replaced him. Second down, 9. Vendros, first down catch. Defending was Mike Zordich, 43, 19-yard completion.
We talked about how the soft spot is of Penn State's defensive backfield. Look how much room Jesse Vendros has against Mike Zordich, number 43. He just does not want to give up the big play and let Alabama get back in the ball game before half.
Vendros has been quiet in this game prior to that one. Carter and Moore in the backfield. A little delay, handoff to Ricky Moore. Massey Antonio is there. Scepter is there. Scepter's a wrestler. He finished 6th in the NCAA a couple of years ago. 4th-ranked North Carolina still remains unbeaten. Ohio State. How about that Florida team? They've been tied once. Georgia. Miami of Florida. We were impressed with them in the Orange Bowl.
Bernie Kosar, their quarterback's outstanding.
Second down, 9. Vendros in motion. Lewis to throw. And Lewis is going to go into the Penn State end of the field. A 6-yard pickup. Rogers Alexander, who was taken out of the game earlier with an injury, is back in to make the tackle. It'll be 3rd down and 3.
The remarkable thing to me about Alabama's offense this first half is how they have not been able to take advantage of the poor defensive play of Penn State's defensive backfield. They really have not gotten the ball much to Vendros and Joey Jones or others put in.
Well, it was evidenced on that play. He had all kinds of time to throw, but nobody apparently open. And we're going to have a timeout. All right, now we want to update that Oklahoma-Texas game. We're going to go switch to Dallas and join Pat O'Brien for this live report.
Texas has just scored. It is now 13-10. Texas here at the Cotton Bowl with 7 minutes left in the first period and 7 minutes left in the third period. Texas came out very poorly in the first half. They were very slow, made a lot of mistakes. They played very conservatively. They came out in the second half. They started to throw the ball with some success. 13-10. Texas right now over Oklahoma. Grant and Era will have highlights and scores at the half. Back to you, Gary.
Thanks, great.
Okay, Pat O'Brien, thank you very much. And again, as Pat mentioned, updates on that at halftime. It's 3rd down and 2 now for Alabama. They have 2 timeouts remaining after using this last one. And one of the big stories has been the turnovers, but Pat, you mentioned a moment ago, the secondary of Penn State figured to really be blitzed by Walter Lewis, that he would be able to find somebody open. It just doesn't happen that way.
They have held up exceedingly well. And how many times do you see that in college football or in all athletics? When people have their backs up against the wall, they come out and they perform very well. And we're looking at an excellent program here, obviously, at Penn State. And that's a tribute to Joe Paterno and his coaching staff.
The only loss that Penn State had last year was to this team, Alabama. 3rd and 2. They say 3 on the screen, but it's a long 2 at best. Outstanding defense. John Walter, 86, is over there. 4th down. Get the feeling they knew what they were going to run.
That is a very big play on 3rd and 2 with about 2 minutes left in the first half. Forces Alabama to punt the football.
Malcolm Simmons will do that. 39-yard average. Kenny Jackson, Kevin Bow back. Again, Simmons was doubtful coming into this game whether he could punt. He got it very high, and they're going to let it hit, and it is going to make it in. 52-yarder. That'll bring it out to the 20-yard line. Next Saturday, CBS Sports will be at Belmont Park in New York to bring you 2 excellent horse races. The Jockey Club Gold Cup and the Champagne Stakes. Horse racing's all-time leading money winner, John Henry, Slew of Gold, and Playfellow are expected to lead a strong Jockey Club field. In the Champagne Stakes, we've been hearing about this horse a couple of weeks from Bob Fishman. Devil's Bag, the 2-year-old Cinta racing. From the 20, Kenny Jackson in motion. John Williams. Williams for the first down and more. Stan Gay's got him. 25-yard run by John Williams.
John Williams, the senior from Somerville, New Jersey, is going to follow some blocks, break a couple tackles. He is trying to watch number 82, Kenny Jackson, there make a block as well.
Doug Strang, first down pass intended for Jackson. There's a penalty flag in the secondary.
One more look at the big run of John Williams, number 44. He picked up a very good block by his wide receiver, Kenny Jackson. That's what he does so well. But the big thing here, Gary, is that Penn State had wasted a couple of timeouts early in the game. Here's 82, Kenny Jackson. We told you that he was a complete football player. He goes after number 21, Freddie Robinson, clears the way for 44, John Williams to the big run.
Stan Gay eventually wrestling him down. The penalty is against Alabama.
Substitution infraction. 12 men on the field. Not participating. It's a first down and 5.
Well said, Joe. It's impressive.
Ray Perkins trying to play with an extra man. From the 40 now. Mumford, Dozier, the backfield. Strang with all kinds of time. Intercepted. It's picked up by Todd Roper, number 53. Out of Snellville, Georgia. A red shirt. He's a sophomore, and that is the first Penn State turnover.
And the first mistake by Doug Strang, who's played remarkably well here in this first half. The key to this play is the pressure that number 78, John Hand, puts on Doug Strang. Now, he's in his face. You see John Hand right there. Makes him throw the ball a little earlier than he's ready to. And number 53, Todd Roper's there to make the interception.
Doug Strang suffering the interception. That is his third of the year. And Alabama, with 1:11 left in this first half, has it at their own 39. Lewis over the middle. Joey Jones, who caught that touchdown pass earlier. An 18-yard pickup. They're hurrying up. They're not even going to huddle up.
They have 2 timeouts remaining.
Jones, Pendrose split out. Line of scrimmage, the 43 of Penn State. A big hit put on Patrick by Matthew Antonio. Pick up to the 40, just inside it. Now with 47 seconds, Alabama has another play ready. 2nd and 6. That'll stop the clock with 36 seconds. Well, Ray Perkins has gone into that 2-minute offense for the NFL many times, now trying to implement it here in college.
Well, this is the key situation, though. It's 3rd and 6, and they need to pick up either the first down or at least 40 yards to put the field goal kicker in position to kick for 3 points.
As they come to this 3rd down, Penn State, I should say Alabama, is 2 of 7. Be with us at halftime. We'll have scores. We'll have highlights of Oklahoma, Texas, Oklahoma State, Nebraska. Patrick out of the game, and now a penalty flag. Delay a game against Alabama. Right now you can see the frustration on Walter Lewis's face.
That is not typical of an Alabama team.
Delay of game. Not putting the ball in play within 25 seconds.
Army and Air Force winning some games. That'll move it back to the 45, a 5-yard penalty.
The Harvard tie there, Rick Lacidito, our producer, is a little upset. I guess he's probably happy with the tie this year.
3rd and 11. That's Joe Carter in motion. Lewis to Jones. Nice catch. First down. Just short of the 25-yard line. An 18-yard pickup. They stop the clock to move the chains with 29 seconds.
The test of any receiver is how well will he catch the ball over the middle. That has been answered many times by Joey Jones. He caught his 2nd ball over the middle here today. Actually, his 3rd ball. He caught a touchdown as well.
Now Alabama asks for a timeout. They have 1 left. Give us an opportunity to look at some scores. This game late and starting in the East, so many of them finishing up. And he is 6'4". Brennan Era will have that and more.
I was impressed with that Texas defense. We saw them earlier in the year. They've got an outstanding defensive football team.
Jones, Kendra split to the bottom. Now the officials want to be sure everybody's set with 20 seconds. The clock had expired 9 seconds. How can that happen? That cannot be. And that's why they called the timeout. Because there was 29 seconds on the clock. There was a timeout. You can't start the clock until the ball is snapped. So they're going to have to put some time back up. There they go. On cue.
It's amazing what you can do, Gary.
Well, that's our producer, Rick Lostavia. He made him change it.
Oh, the power of television.
The line of scrimmage again now, the 26. Alabama at least like to get a field goal out of this. Walter Lewis wants to get this thing going. Record crowd, 85,000. 29 seconds left in the first half. Penn State leading 17-7. Alabama trying to get a little closer. Lewis intercepted. Gerald Childs. The fourth turnover by Alabama.
You be the free safety. Watch Gerald Giles, number 28 here. You read Walter Lewis, the quarterback. There's a cardinal rule in football for every quarterback is don't throw the ball late down the middle. Gerald Giles reads Walter Lewis's eyes the entire way, is right there to make the interception.
That was Chandler, 81, the tight end, the intended receiver, but short-circuited that time. And Walter Lewis going to have to retool for the second half. 2 interceptions, 2 fumbles. Doug Strang with 23 seconds will just kill the remaining time. So it has been a surprise in this first half.
What's really been amazing is that Alabama has turned the ball over 4 times in this first half. Conversely, Penn State's offense, which had some question marks, has been a big play offense. Doug Strang has played exceedingly well this first half.
And the Penn State Nittany Lions go off to a standing ovation. Joe Paterno's team playing a very good first 30 minutes of football. They lead it by 10, 17-7. The turnovers have haunted Alabama, and the fine play of Doug Strang, who threw 2 touchdown passes in this first half. So the Nittany Lions trying to even their record at 3 apiece. Lead it 17-7.5. We'll be back with Brennan Era from New York with scores and highlights after this word about an upcoming show on CBS and a message from your local station.
Let's take a look at DJ Dozier. He's only had 24 yards in the first half. Did not carry the ball as much as we expected. And Kenny Jackson has been shut out through a key block there for John Williams, though, in the first half. And Doug Strang, he has been the story. Thrown for 160 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Doug Strang going into the dressing room, probably feeling the best he's felt in a long time after replacing Todd Blackledge. That was a tough order. From the 20-yard line, Fowl will be split out along with Kenny Jackson, the junior quarterback for Joe Paterno. Give to Dozier, and Dozier loses a yard. And now let's look at the key people defensively for Alabama.
Emmanuel King, he has 6 sacks coming into today, has put 1 on Doug Strang. Steve Booker, he's the other defensive end. We have not heard his name too much this afternoon. Has not been the factor we anticipated. And Stan Gay, he's felt the wrath of Doug Strang.
Second down, 11. Jackson to the bottom, foul to the top of the screen, split out. Strang to throw. Scrambles out of there, picks up 2, maybe 3 yards. Emmanuel King, there is a penalty flag, and Oklahoma has scored in that annual battle in the Cotton Bowl. And they have a personal foul against Alabama.
Perhaps it's a frustrated Alabama team.
Strang again, though, Pat, showing poise, confidence, not throwing the ball into any trouble, elected to run it.
He had Kenny Jackson open there, but there was some pressure in his face. But you're right, he did not throw the ball up when he felt he couldn't get the ball to him.
Dead ball, personal foul, White, late hit.
Late hit, you heard it, from referee Joe Clinshot out of Webster, New York. First down now at the 38. Gonna have an end around reverse to Kenny Jackson. Look at him go. He is to the Alabama 43-yard line. First down. Freddie Robinson, a freshman from Mobile, over to make the tackle.
Kenny Jackson may not touch the ball much, but when he does, he is going to be a dominant factor. You have to find a way to get him the ball. If you can't throw it to him, you give him the ball on the reverse. He picks up a nice block by Todd Moles and picks up a big first down.
A 19-yard pickup, and you can sense the Nittany Lions are playing with confidence. They're leading the unbeaten third-ranked Crimson Tide. Strang to Dozier. Dozier to the 35, 30, 20. Out of bounds at the 16. Stan Gay, number 28, eventually got the angle and the tackle.
Williams, Henry, Dozier the third. He's going to catch the ball. Watch his great vision. The ball is supposed to go up the middle, but he sees it. That's why they put him back there in the I formation. Then he turns on the juice, and it's a big play for DJ Dozier. 4 years of this young man. Joe Paterno has to be happy about that.
And on that run, he set a new freshman rushing record, surpassing the record by Matt Suey. He has 50 yards today. That was a 27-yard run. First down at the 17. This time, Mumford has no place to go. Manuel King, 92. He called his number quite frequently. A very gifted athlete. Second down, still virtually 10.
DJ Dozier, you know, when he was in high school, his mother said when he was in the game just seemed a little bit different when he was in there. I can see why.
Yes. I wonder where he gets the initials DJ. His dad was called Deke, and they called him Deke Jr. Second and 10. Strang, Jackson, touchdown.
College football is a game of adjustments. Kenny Jackson did not touch the ball in the first half. In the second half, he has touched it twice.
And the last time, a 16-yard touchdown catch. Cacciatano, point after it. And Penn State has erupted to a 24-7 lead.
Joe Paterno went in at halftime, and he was determined to find a way to get the ball to Kenny Jackson. He ran the reverse a little earlier. Now you're going to see Doug Strang dropping back, rolling a little bit to his left. Kenny Jackson just shoots right down the middle in front of the three safety. Again, the ball well thrown. The All-American receiver, Kenny Jackson, catching his 20th touchdown reception while at Penn State. Right there in the middle of the screen, beats the coverage. The ball again well thrown. Kenny Jackson for 6.
He's caught one pass in 37 of the last 39 games. And as you mentioned, 20 career touchdown grabs. Penn State is on the move.
Kickoff, and in 6 plays, he marched down for 6 points. Strang to Jackson.
That last carry was a first down run, moving the ball to the 38-yard line. Alabama trailed 24-7. Ricky Moore close to the 45. Fruhan stepped her over to make the stop for Joe Paterno's Nittany Lions.
People were always concerned when Alabama ran the wishbone that they could not catch up when they got behind. One of the reasons you saw Ray Perkins come in and change his team to the I formation so they could score points more quickly. They're going to be sorely tested here this afternoon.
Second down and 4. Jones, Bendros split out. In motion goes Chandler, the tight end. Lewis in trouble. Sector 41 back there for the sack to the 35. Let's switch back to New York now for the NCAA Today, and here is Brent Musburger.
Gary, it may be too late, but watch Danny Bradley of Oklahoma on a beautiful option. The quarterback keeps it, and I haven't seen Texas play this softly on defense all year. They'll blow a tackle at the 10. He gets in, but there's less than 6 minutes to go. Back to Gary.
Back here now after the loss on the sack, the first of the game by Penn State, making it 3rd and 13. Look out. Gattuso. There's a penalty flag at the 50. He challenged Gattuso, and he cut him down back there. So let's see what this is all about. The penalty flag way back in the secondary, and there's also another one I see now at the 20-yard line. So there are 2 flags. Holding against Penn State. Personal foul against Penn State. They're both against the Nittany Lions.
Here's the holding. The bottom of the screen, number 17, Harry Hamilton. You see the receiver puts a move on him. Jesse Bendros goes by him. Harry Hamilton tries to tackle him. Nice camera work there by our director, Bob Fishman.
I think one of the surprising plays you watch is how good the open field tackling has been by Penn State.
And watch the roughing passer. You see number 70, Gattuso, putting a stop. And here's 52, Joe Hines, coming over the top and putting the light hit on him. Good call by the official.
And so the penalty being assessed against Penn State at the 10:56 mark of the 3rd quarter.
Could be a turning point. It would have been 4th and forever. Now they get a first down.
Oh, it's going to be another one. Hey, we got holding here. Oh.
They're tacking it on. They're tacking a second one on. So it'd be a dead ball foul after the first penalty. And so, as an end result, that amounts to a 25-yard penalty. 2 penalties for 25.
On the blue. Both penalties are marked off. It's a first down.
A live play that resulted in a penalty, and then the dead ball penalty, the personal foul. Jim Ivey now checks in a tackle, replacing Doug Vickers for Alabama. The line of scrimmage, the 40. And they're going to stop it. The whistle, the play blown dead as the penalty flag went in the air. Harry Hamilton picking up Walter Lewis. So right now, after having a very well-played first half with very few penalties, all of a sudden they've really started to creep into the picture. That's illegal procedure against the Tide. This is a beautiful place to be on this October afternoon. This is Happy Valley. State College, Pennsylvania, and CBS Sports is here to bring you a game that has the earmarks of being a big upset. Penn State leading Alabama 24-7 with 10:43 left in the 3rd quarter. First down, 15 for Alabama. I'm Gary Bender along with Pat Hayden. A delay handoff to Good, the freshman. Down close to the 35-yard line. Scepter 41 there on the tackle. Kerry Good had an outstanding high school career at Town Creek. That's in Alabama. And he's going to see a lot more playing time as time wears on. He has 46 shots.
He better hope Penn State doesn't score too much more because he has to do a push-up for every point that they score. You couldn't do that, I know.
Oh, no, wait a minute. Second down, 6. Bob White comes in at defensive end for Penn State. Lewis on the option. Hamilton hitting. That was kind of a throwback to last year, wasn't it? That looked like the old Alabama offense. And Hamilton played it well.
Number 17, Harry Hamilton. He is the hero. He is part linebacker, part defensive back. He plays the option beautifully. Tries to take the middle ground really there. Walter Lewis is indecisive, and Harry Hamilton does a little dance with him and stops him.
Harry Hamilton, the leading tackler for Penn State, an academic All-American. Kickers has come back in to tackle for the Tide. Third down coming up, 3rd and 2. They're 3 of 9 on 3rd down. More, and that will be a 1st down. The ball loose. And Penn State got it.
Third and 2. Walter Lewis is just trying to pick up 2 yards any way he can. He dumps it off to Ricky Moore. He is hit exceedingly hard there by the Penn State defenders. The ball comes loose, and there's the turnover. Number 70, Greg Cattuso, who's played beautifully all day long, and number 97, Scott Radisek, the All-American linebacker.
Looked like Radisek was the guy that knocked it loose. That is the 5th turnover against Alabama. We'll be back with 9:08 to go in the 3rd quarter. Penn State 24, Bama 7. Precipitated that turnover. Scott Radisek. 5 turnovers by Alabama. Ray Perkins encouraging his troops as they trail 24-7. Dozier, Nichols in the backfield, Kenny Jackson in motion. Drang to Dozier. To the 50, 40, 30, 20. He's to the 10. And out at the 8.
You watch number 42, DJ Dozier, and you enjoy him. A remarkable freshman running back. Again, watch his eyes, watch his vision. He picks, he bobs, he weaves. He picks up a couple of blockers downfield. He turns on the seat to the outside. He is a freshman running back, yet he knows how to wait for his blockers in front of him. A remarkable young ball carrier.
64 yards. Strang. Bow. Kevin Bow. We're going to have a pass interference. Stan Gay. Strang, by the way, getting up slowly. He was hit very hard on that play. That was Stan Gay, 28, defending on Bow. By the way, let's look at it again.
Here's Kevin Bow. We talked about how good he's been. He's already caught 1 touchdown pass today. Comes in off of Stan Gay. The ball is outside. Could have been caught by Kevin Bow.
Pass interference on the white in the end zone. 1st down.
They called Stan Gay for pushing off on Kevin Bow.
So they set it up at the 1. What I started to say is Dozier with that run now has 114 yards, and that's the 4th straight 100-yard game. That ties the Penn State record between Lydell Mitchell, John Capoletti, and remember this name, D.J. Dozier.
It's a good crowd to be in.
Joe Paterno's team at the 1. That's Nichols jumping around. Dozier, touchdown. Cacciatano, the point after attempt. The Lions lead it 31-7.
The turnovers have been the key. This is the end result of a 72-yard drive in only 2 plays. You're going to watch D.J. Dozier, who had 60 of those yards on a run, jump over the left side of his line over Todd Moles, Nick Hayden, Ron Heller for the touchdown. but it was a play, the big run of DJ Dozier that got them down in scoring position.
Joe Paterno watching pensively and watching them take a 31-7 lead. He said, I hope we don't run DJ Dozier to death. He had 27 carries a week ago. Oh, what a future he has. Joe Paterno, 16 years an assistant coach under Rip Engel, now in his 18th year as the head coach of Penn State. He said he was embarrassed by the start to this season, but oh, are they making up for it this afternoon.
He said he wanted his team to have fun. They must be having some fun today.
Lenny Patrick on a short kickoff brings it to the 30-yard line. DJ Dozier from Virginia Beach, Virginia. He holds a freshman rushing record already. And this is only the 6th game of the year. From the 30, Alabama trying to put it back together. Vendros, Jones split out. Walter Lewis, Vendros. That gets some of it back. First down to the 49. A 19-yard completion. Mike Zordy, 43, defending on Vendros.
Again, you're going to see the defensive philosophy of Penn State from here on in. They're going to give them anything in front of them. Jesse Vendros, number 88, has plenty of room in front of the defensive back, Mike Zordich. But Zordich and the other defensive backs are not going to give up the home run.
Alabama now first down at their own 49. Good. Moore in the backfield. Lewis to throw again. Vendros intercepted by Zordich. The 6th turnover by Alabama. Walter Lewis, who threw the interception, was over there to help make the tackle. Zordich, an ex-linebacker, an ex-strong safety, and now a cornerback.
Well, he has played out of position, but he's played very, very well this afternoon. Another look from the defensive secondary. You're going to see Walter Lewis. Now, this is the same play he threw for a completion on the play before. And again, Jesse Vendros was open. This time he was overthrown. The ball was thrown actually right to Mike Zordich, the defensive back.
From the 48-yard line, Penn State in possession, John Williams. And Williams saw the run of Dozier a while ago. Probably asked, hey, coach, don't forget me. There's Zordich.
College football's fun.
Zordich out of Youngstown, Ohio.
Fun for some people, I should say.
Yep, I don't think Alabama's enjoying themselves too well right now, or too much. Second and 4 for the Nittany Lions. 7.5 minutes left in the third quarter. Mumford. And Mumford appears to have a first down. Let's go to Dallas now in the Cotton Bowl and join our friend Pat O'Brien for a report on Oklahoma, Texas.
Thank you, Gary. It's all over but the shouting. The Sooner Schooner is leaving the Cotton Bowl 28-16, Texas over Oklahoma. And Fred Akers has to be thinking about number 1. Back to you, Gary.
All right, Pat, we'll look forward to hooking up with you down the line again. We enjoyed having you in the Orange Bowl, and the second-ranked team came through all right, but the third-ranked team is in trouble. 53 seconds average time on a scoring drive. Boy, that is really a remarkable statistic. Here's Dozier again. Another first down. You see the crowd get to their feet when he got the ball?
Every time he's touching the ball now, the entire stadium is on their feet.
Well, he only has 127 yards. Wow.
But you're right, Joe Paterno made an interesting statement. He said he did not want him to carry the ball 25 or 30 times a game because he wants him to still be around when he's a senior. So Joe Paterno might be happy with 9 rushes for 127 yards.
Well, he's close. 31-7. Jackson comes in motion. This time, very little running room. Tony Mumford testing the inside. There's still a lot of time left in this game. That's what's left of the third quarter.
Those poor Penn State fullbacks, you know, Dozier and those guys get to run outside, and they throw the fullback a bone and let him run right up the middle. That's unfair.
You know, Mumford moved to the fullback spot. He was a tailback a year ago. That's the same thing John Williams did because of Kurt Warner. If they're tough enough to play that spot, then they move him back. Second and 9. Strang to Jackson. Touchdown. Oh, he dropped it. It looked like he had it and disappeared from our view. Paul Tripoli defending.
Now look from the end zone. In professional football, you cannot face guard. In college football, you can. Watch number 23, Paul Tripoli. He's going to put his arms up in front of Kenny Jackson right there. Kenny Jackson loses the ball momentarily, but had it and should have caught it, and is disappointed that he dropped it.
You only had one earlier.
Yeah, well, you don't see him do that too often, believe me.
So he'll flank out again with foul. Third down, 9. Strang, the other side. Dominio, the tight end. Kelly Pierce making the stop, a 7-yard pickup. Strang showing the ability to throw short and long.
And read the blitz there as he did, and threw to his underneath receiver, Dominio, the tight end.
That's how it all started, was left Dominio, an 80-yard touchdown pass. And that's what put number 18 on track.
It's amazing to think what would have happened if he didn't have to face Nebraska that first game.
Fourth down, and so Cacciatano will be attempting a field goal. A 38-yard one. And it is good. Cacciatano takes it a 34-7 game. 6:31 left in the third quarter.
And so does BYU.
Steve Young having a brilliant year.
A big day against UCLA a week ago.
This time, Cacciatano will kick off. After hitting 2 field goals, he'll have kick one off. Line drive. Finally picked up. And to the 21-yard line is Alabama, and things are not going well for the Tide. That was Preston Gothard returning the ball. Tomorrow, a doubleheader day on CBS Sports. First game will be the Super Bowl champion Washington Redskins against their Eastern Division rival, the Cardinals. And then the feature doubleheader game will be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers against the Cowboys. Other regional action also. It all starts with the NFL today. Be sure to be with us for the NFL. From the 21, first down, Bama. Ricky Moore. And Moore picks up 9 yards. Sordich making the tackle.
If you are going to beat Penn State today, you're going to have to throw the ball underneath and watch their defensive backs, how deep they're playing. Here's a shot of their defensive coverage. Now, Alabama is going to have to throw the ball to their tight end and wide receivers underneath these guys. Look how deep they are. They're 15, 20 yards deep. They are determined not to give up the big play.
And yet, they've still been able to keep him out of there. Sordich on that interception the last time, despite playing very deep. We're going to have a timeout. Buyouts happen on their last 5 possessions.
Really, they had one play on the first drive, and they just have not had anything to sustain it. They had interceptions, punts, and fumbles. It's been remarkable. And the amazing thing with the turnovers is Penn State has turned these turnovers into 20 points. 20 of their 34 points have come directly from turnovers.
And remember how this game started? Alabama had the ball almost the entire first quarter. They had it, what, 12 and a half minutes? And now, since that time, they just haven't had the ball long enough to do much with it.
And interestingly enough, coming into this football game, Penn State had been the team that had really been turning the football over on turnovers and interceptions, fumbles.
Well, there was a suspicion here that Penn State would get things turned around because Joe Paterno is just too fine a coach. I would think they've turned it around a little bit. They've got to start it the other way. 34-7, they lead Alabama. Good. Brings it to the 35-yard line. He had a 2nd and 1. He picks up the first down.
Time becomes a factor here. There's 5:41 left in the third quarter, but when the score is 34-7, you have to make use of every second on the clock.
Ray Perkins played on 2 national championship teams at Alabama. His goal this year was to win that. That's going to be their goal every year. But right now, they've been sidetracked. Complete to Chandler. Good open field tackle that time. That's Hamilton again. Missouri, after losing last week, East Carolina. A&M over Houston. USC and Washington State.
Boy, Southern Cal's struggling.
UCLA, that murderous early schedule, trying to win one. Lewis on 2nd and 5. Vendros. Again, Pat, he had all kinds of open spaces.
He had very good protection, but you're going to look at one more time at the defensive secondary of Penn State. Again, playing it safe. Again, look how deep they are. The free safety is 25 yards off the ball. The corners are 20 yards off the ball. The receiver, Jesse Vendros, is open right there in the middle of the screen. The ball is just over his head.
Darrell Giles had an interception at the goal line earlier. Almost came up with another one there. 3rd and 5. Penn State got back, I believe, and Walter Lewis didn't get back, though. John Walter there. Just no question, Pat, the poise has just escaped right now. Alabama coming in here and won 4 games. Looked like they were having clear sailing and the roof was falling in.
They look very disoriented and confused. It's surprising for an Alabama football team. They have not been in this kind of situation this late in the football game this year yet.
So it's 4th down. Simmons will kick, averaging 45.5. Bow and Jackson, the twin safeties, back for the Nittany Lions. Good kick. Jackson, the 21. Hit hard at the 28-yard line. Well, there shows you the frustration that Walter Lewis has experienced this afternoon. He does have 1 touchdown, but 3 interceptions.
He's had people open, again, underneath the coverage, but he just has not been able, for whatever reason, to get the ball to them. You know, you mentioned something at the beginning of the show, Gary, that I think should be mentioned again, is that last year, Penn State only lost 1 game to this Alabama team and went on to win a national championship. The ebb and flow of college football, perhaps Alabama is in that same situation this year.
They lost it last year when they were only trailing by 3 with 14 minutes to go, and the roof fell in. Here's Dozier. Dozier across the 30 to the 31. Anthony Smiley, 52, making the stop for Alabama. That's not too shabby, is it? 2 touchdowns and a field goal.
That makes the head coach smile right there. But look, the number of plays, 2 and 6, 2 and 7. They have not had to go far.
Their longest today, an 80-yard strike. Alabama almost had a 99-yard kickoff return, but it was whistled down by a penalty on a big play. Strang. Tony Mumford. Tony Mumford brings it out to the 40-yard line, and that will be another 1st down.
Give Joe Paterno some credit. What got him here today and got 34 points on the board was his passing game. He's thrown the ball very effectively. Here he's still nursing a lead, but he has not gone and tried to run the clock out. He's still out there throwing the football downfield.
Joe Paterno said, we did do a good job with our squad at the start of the year, but I think he's doing a pretty good job today. He took a lot of the blame on their early 0-3 start. 1st down to Dozier. Hemmed in this time, maybe a yard. Reaction by Billy Pierce, 14, and Cornelius Bennett, 97. With that carry now, DJ has 132 yards. Boy, that BYU team is scoring a lot of points. 2nd down and 8 from the 42. Jackson and Bow split to the bottom. To Bow. He juggled it but held on. 1st down. 16-yard completion. Alabama's been in this position. From the 42, Dozier. Wayne Davis, 58, a freshman, making the stop for Alabama. I asked Ray Perkins, what makes Dozier so tough? He says he has the earmarks of all great running backs. He makes the man miss you.
He's got a lot of shape.
He's coming out, and John Williams will come in. Wow. These guys went on and are continuing on, and the pro ranks do a good job. Kurt Warner's having an excellent rookie year. 2nd and 9. John Williams. Flag on the play as Williams advances far enough for the first down. So let's wait on the penalty. Smiley, Davis combining on the tackle.
Into the short side of the field this time, Penn State came. You're going to see the holding penalty right over number 78, Ron Heller. The pitch to John Williams, the senior, the fullback. Tony Mumford puts on a block. Todd Moles is out there in front of them. The holdings in the background.
So instead of the first down, it'll bring it back. There's Ron Heller, 78. This offensive line had to have some adjustments made to it for Penn State.
Illegal use of the hand on the blue. 2nd down.
Seemingly, Pat, where it came together was when they moved Todd Moles from defense to offense. He's number 63 for Penn State. They had Heller back as a starter, McGinnis the starter, and Nick Hayden has come through at center. 2nd down, 11. Looks like Jackson didn't see the ball for a moment. Emmanuel King, 92, defending on the play. 3rd down. That's what's left of the 3rd quarter. And yes, Penn State is leading 34-7. It'll be interesting to see what happens to Strang the rest of the year. A confidence builder like he has here today.
80% of the position, I think, a quarterback is confidence, and he is very much on a roll.
Strang on a play action. Foul, the intended receiver, Freddie Robinson defending. That's a tough throw.
Going to his left, spreading out on the move. Yes, it is.
4th down. Coming in will be Reynolds to kick. And Reynolds is only averaging 51 yards. Out of Walnut Creek, California. And back deep, Greg Richardson. And the Penn State staff is very aware of this freshman. He's going to try to pooch one over there in the side and doesn't get as far as he wanted. No fair catch was called. And Shane Conlon belted him. 30-yard kick.
That pooch could really be effective. Take a look at the hit. Penn State is still out there hitting, even though they're ahead 34-7. Greg Richardson right there makes the catch. But Conlon, who had an interception a little earlier in the football game, is right there to meet Greg Richardson.
And now, at the 12-yard line, Alabama. Ray Perkins now probably just wants to build from the bottom now. Start to get the thing back together for next week. Right ahead comes Kerry Good, Schefter, Matthew Antonio making the tackle. Also Walter, 86. Second down and 6 for Alabama. Alabama last year went 8-4, beating Illinois in the Liberty Bowl. Lewis, complete. Vendros, and that'll be a first down. Stordich over there, 13-yard completion. 6 seconds remaining now in this 3rd quarter. Every once in a while, they make the completion, but they haven't been able to put a string of completions together, a sustained drive.
Give Penn State's defense some credit for that.
on first down, Chandler. And Chandler has another first down for the Tide. Dordich again making the stop. And we have come to the end of the third quarter. It's Penn State 34, Alabama 7. Alabama Penn State is an exclusive presentation of CBS Sports. We'll be back with 34-7. They have a first down at their own 44-yard line. Walter Lewis hits Ricky Moore, and the big fullback barrels ahead for a first down. All right, let's just kind of show you what graphically has happened in this game. First, this fumble.
It's been a day of turnovers, and Alabama's had 6 of them. You see the first one, it was first and goal on Penn State's 1-yard line. They turned the ball over right there. It's been a day of big plays as Doug Strang.
And we'll take a look at those big plays in a moment, but right now, it's first down at the 32. That was a 24-yard pickup on that last pass completion. Lewis. Vendros. Oh, what a catch. What a catch to the 1-yard line.
You said it was, oh, what a catch, and you are right, Gary Bender. Watch Jesse Vendros. The deep ball, Walter Lewis, a cardinal sin by Penn State. We said they weren't going to give up the big play. Here they do. Jesse Vendros over number 35, Mike Suter, first and goal on the 1.
31-yard completion. Vendros has 4 catches, 82 yards. First and goal for the Tide. Walter Lewis to good. Touchdown.
The most important thing in college football is not necessarily to win, but to try to win and to keep trying to win. Give Alabama some credit. They were down 34-7. They had a sustained drive. They came down and put 6 more on the board. Terry Good over the top.
And so Walter Lewis salved some wounds with that. 6 plays, 87 yards. It only took a minute and a half. Van Tippen, the point after. 34-14 is now our count at the 14-12 mark. We mentioned the turnovers and frustrations, but oh, it's been a big day for big plays. Here's one of them.
None bigger than this from Doug Strang.
So be prepared with a kid of multi-purpose
In Penn State in 1982, and they look like national champions today. Alabama, who's won 6 national titles. We may have an onside kick here. Penn State's expecting it. Terry Sanders will approach the ball. Nope, he kicked away. Kenny Jackson. And he's out of bounds to the 19. Let's go to New York now. For an update, here's Brent.
Gary, earlier today, the Texas Longhorns down to Oklahoma 28-16 right now.
Freddie Akers, a happy coach, and rightfully so. Penn State with the football. T.J. Dozier, Emmanuel King making the tackle. That's now for Dozier, 136 yards. Pat, I guess the question that a lot of viewers would have as they watch this game is how in the world did this Penn State team lose 3 football games?
It really is amazing, but coming into the season, the defense was supposed to play well. They played miserably at front at the beginning of the season. They had players playing out of the position, and they were trying to find someone to replace Todd Blackledge. They may have found that man today.
I think that's a very accurate statement. 2nd and 7. Doug Strang has been just an outstanding performer today. Here's Skeeter Nichols, and there is a very picturesque tackle. He is straightened up by King. Emmanuel King played well.
One of the other things, too, that Joe Paterno was concerned about with his team was, and particularly his offense, Gary, is that they played without a lack of precision. Again, today, they've really been on target. They played very well as a football team. They look like they know what they're doing, and they look like they're having some fun. That's what Joe wanted.
That's exactly what he said. Let's make it a fun game. It's fun when you play like this. Strang, here comes the freshman. He is very close to the first down. He had a 3rd and 5, and it may be a little bit short. This crowd, though, they just come alive when number 42 touches the ball. They're going to have to kick it. It's 4th down. Reynolds, George Reynolds, was an Army brat, moved all over the country. And today, he's done extremely well. He's averaging 44 yards. Richardson will go back. There he is. He had only 3 punts last year. Oh, he hit that one a mile high. Boy. Here's Richardson. To the 31-yard line. That's Conlon again down there. A 48-yard kick by number 30. 12:08 left to play. And this young man is happy. P.J. Dozier. Those yards he came on only 14 carries. Alabama had to get that on 45 attempts. Walter Lewis. Complete. And this man, Vendros, is all of a sudden starting to make Penn State very nervous.
Walter Lewis keeps coming back to the same pass. Now, this is the one he had intercepted a little earlier, but he's had some success with it. Jesse Vendros underneath number 43, Mike Zordich, the catch and the first down.
That's a 23-yard grab. He has 105 yards now on 5 catches. First down at the 46 of Penn State. Lewis again, and guess who's on the other end of it? Vendros, out of Hollywood, Florida. He, more than anybody, Pat, was excited about their change in offense.
And he's caught a lot of balls today, but that can be misleading in a game like this today when you're down by the points that Alabama is today. Penn State, as we said before, are going to give them the short passes underneath, and that's what they're doing to Jesse Vendros.
Second down, a yard. Walter Lewis is coming out throwing. Here he goes on the option to Ricky Moore. Moore, first down. That's Conlon again, number 31. For a man that wasn't expected to even see any action, he's been called a lot defensively.
That was Alabama's 4th option play that they've run the entire game. They just do it just enough just so you have to defend against it.
Tossed him up and picked up 14 yards. Jones, Vendros split out. Crowd getting a little uneasy here. Lewis back. It's complete. Touchdown, Vendros. What a second half he's had. That's a 24-yard touchdown catch.
You have to like the determination of Jesse Vendros and Walter Lewis. They keep coming back. They keep coming after you.
7 catches, 137 yards. And we still have 11:14 to go. And what I was saying earlier, the crowd getting a little edgy right now. They are coming back a little bit. And Tippin point after attempt. And now it's 34-21.
This is the same pass that Jesse Vendros has caught 4 other times today. A little slant pass underneath the cover. Good protection. That is the key to this pass. And well thrown past Mike Zordich that time, who was playing the play in front of the safety for the touchdown. Again, admire the determination. Again, the room underneath the coverage. But Walter Lewis and Jesse Vendros keep coming right after you. They're not going to give up.
What really made that tough was his vision was obscured there by the defender running right in front of him. But he had it. It's now a little bit closer. In the West, on a day that has been a joyous day for Penn State. But now, the Penn State rooters starting to get a little edgy. As Alabama starting to storm back with 11:14 left of the game. Ray Perkins' crew hasn't given up. They trail 34-21. Now, is Alabama going to try the onside kick this time? Barry Sanders. Nope, kicking away. Kenny Jackson will let it hit. And Penn State will start from the 20-yard line. We have had a day of big plays, to say the least. That last one, characteristic of it, it only took 54 seconds, Pat, for them to strike the last time. And that's what Penn State was doing earlier. They were averaging 53 seconds to drive.
And the important thing for Penn State here offensively is keep their intensity up. They cannot go to sleep. They need another score.
Where did you get that sweater?
You like that? Got that at home. My wife picked it up.
So Penn State from the 20-yard line. First down. Mumford and Dozier in the backfield. Strang to Dozier. The defense, this time Randy Edwards, 96 equal. Oh, hey, this is a family show. Second down, 11. You can see the defense fired up. And last strike had Randy Edwards ready to play.
They can force them to punt. They're only down by 13 points, 2 touchdowns, obviously wins the game for them.
Trying on 2nd and 11. Complete to Bow. Oh, was he hit? He's short of the first down. Well, earlier we had the Baltimore Orioles winning the series against the Chicago White Sox, and they shut them out 3-0. Gary Bender along with Pat Hayden. And this season has had some interesting developments, and one of them's here today. Just glad to be bringing you the best in college football here on CBS. Comfort, Dozier in the backfield. 3rd down. Penn State needs to get this one. Dozier, he's not going to get it.
New life for Alabama. Their players on the sideline are jumping up and down. Number 58, Wayne Davis, made the stop there to force Penn State to punt.
That was Wayne Davis that made the tackle. 58, and back goes Richardson. To kick it will be Reynolds. Dozier a little slow getting up that time, but he's all right. 9:30, the clock running. And Reynolds hits another one. Boy, he's put on a clinic today. Richardson having a little trouble. At the 22, a 53-yard kick that time. Chris Collins down to make the tackle for Penn State. A high five for Reynolds, and deservedly so. And the crowd on their feet. This is a big drive for Alabama. With 9:12 remaining, they trail 34-21.
They've come from behind twice before this year to win.
A little delay action to Goose. Goose out to the 28-yard line. They tried to catch him napping that time. Harry Hamilton, Mike Zordick over to make the stop for Penn State. And the Penn State player getting up slowly, but he's going to be all right. That's Zordick. 2nd down, 3 for Alabama.
You can see that Penn State has made some adjustments. They have tightened up their defensive backfield. They were giving them too much room before, so they've tightened up the coverage.
They're going to have to lasso Bendros, so the way he's playing. Lewis, complete to Moore. Oh, nice defense by Penn State. Bob White, number 34, a freshman out of Freeport, Pennsylvania, over to make the tackle.
Good adjustments here by the Penn State defense and Joe Paterno. They were getting hurt by Jesse Bendros, Joey Jones over the middle, underneath the coverage. What have they done now? They have double covered the outside receivers and forced Alabama to go to their back and their tight end.
3rd down, a long 3. Ray Perkins, known to be an offensive genius, and pulling all the stops out now. Lewis, he's going to run for it. Lewis gets the 1st down out to the 35, and that is what concerned Joe Paterno, was his ability on a 3rd down to scramble and get it.
Now, Walter Lewis, remember, he's turned the ball over a couple times today. This time he does not throw the ball for the interception, but he pulls it down underneath his arms and picks up 3 yards for the 1st down. Keeps the drive alive.
From the 35, 1st down. 7:38 left in the game. Lewis, Chandler, the big tight end, and he's running over people. He's inside the 30 to the 33, a 31-yard completion.
Point, counterpoint. We said Penn State took away their wide receivers. What do you have to do? Get the ball to tight end, and that's exactly what Walter Lewis does as he finds Chandler, his big 6'6" tight end for the play. He's looking all around. Actually, it's his 3rd receiver, but he does get the ball to him and keeps the drive alive again.
That is the 30th 1st down for Alabama. 1st down, they set it at the 34. Lewis. Jones tries to dig it out. That'll bring up 2nd down, stops the clock with 7:06. Well, if you thought Alabama was going to give it up today and just go home and head for next week's game, I think you realize they just don't do that. You think maybe he's a little concerned? Vendros has come out of the game. Richardson in at wide receiver. On a 2nd and 10. Complete. That's the tight end, Preston Gothard, a junior from Montgomery, replacing Chandler. And he is stopped, and it'll bring up 3rd down, still 3.
And the adjustments and the counter adjustments as you watch the clock, 6:47 left in the 4th quarter. It's been a game header, a coaching clinic. One coach, Joe Paterno, tries to double the receivers. Ray Perkins sends in a play to throw the ball to the tight end.
3rd and 3. Lewis giving him more. He did not get the 1st down. It's 4th down. 4th down and maybe a half yard, a yard at best. Decision time for Ray Perkins.
Well, they need 2 touchdowns to win.
Fourth down, 1 yard to go. We have a man shaken up. That's Joe Hines, number 52 for Penn State. Senior from Cleveland.
He has played very well this afternoon.
6:13 left in this game. It's the type of game with Alabama starting quickly. Looks like they might really have a big afternoon. And then all of a sudden, Strang threw the 80-yard touchdown pass, and he was off to the races.
Look at the concentration in Walter Lewis's face.
In the second half, Walter Lewis has thrown for 223 yards. Only 55 in the first half. He has 302 yards on the day. That board very, very graphically shows you what the issue is. There's Hines going up. Scott Kerr, 77, replaces him. So here we go. 4th down, a yard. The ball at the 25. Alabama's got to have it. Lewis to good. He's got it and then some. He's to the 10. 1st and goal.
One more time, Alabama goes into the short side of the football field. They've done that all afternoon with tremendous success. 3rd and 1. Once you break that initial wave of the defenders, there's usually some big ground to be gained, and that's exactly what Kerry Goo did. The pitch to the right side, into the short side, into the boundary. He picks up a good block by Vickers, Fisher, and then he does some of it on his own. But the important thing is it's 1st and goal.
1st and goal at the 8. Lewis. Vendros. It is a touchdown. We had to wait, Pat, for the signal. Vendros. Outstanding catch. We have a Penn State player shaken up on the play.
So the 3rd defensive player that's been hurt for Penn State. Jesse Vendros has had a wonderful afternoon. This is from Walter Lewis, his 2nd touchdown catch of the afternoon. You see over the defender. Just a little goal pattern from the 9-yard line. A remarkable catch because he is well covered by number 43, Mike Zordich, but a well-thrown ball and a beautiful catch by Vendros. Another look. They've been picking on 43 Zordich all afternoon. They've thrown underneath him. Now they're going on the top. He is not sure what is happening. And here's what's happening. Touchdown.
We've seen some outstanding receivers, but I don't think anyone has played better than Vendros. He has 8 catches for 2 touchdowns, 145 yards.
Well, at the top of the show, for good reason, we featured all 4 wide receivers from both teams because I don't think you're going to find 4 better ones on a Saturday afternoon on any college football field across the nation. Here's the catch again. Here's the catch, over his shoulder. Now, he just has to have 1 foot in, remember that. Now, the ball is there, he's caught, it's in his possession. He's got both feet in, the official's right there. It's a touchdown.
The man shaken up was John Walder, junior out of Westmount, New Jersey. Such a good catch, we're going to show you again.
We want to make sure that Bedros has possession, but you can see here it's over his shoulder. He actually brings it into his chest. His feet are still in. That is clearly a touchdown.
Wow. 5:36 left. 34-27. Point after attempt by Tippin. It's good. So Bama has scored 21 unanswered points, according to our statistician, in the last 8 minutes and 36 seconds. Mike Swanson with the statistics, and it's a game of big statistics. Paterno, I'm sure, felt, and most of the people felt here, that they might have this game locked away. That Alabama has scored 21 unanswered points. And with 5:36, Ray Perkins and the Tide are very much alive and well. The last 3 possessions, Penn State had 7 plays, 3 plays, 3 plays, all 3 drives ending up with a punt. Sanders will kick off. Kind of a knuckleball effect. Kevin Bow has it. And Bow brings it out efficiently to the 27-yard line. That has been a game almost of different halves.
In Alabama, I tell you, the pride and tradition and heritage of that program, it has been different halves. In spite of 6 turnovers, it's a 6-point ball game right now.
Joe Paterno thought he was going to build his football season from here. Now he's got to hang on to win.
It's going to be interesting to see what their defense and their offense does here for the last couple minutes of the ball game.
Doug Strang, who's played so well, but he hasn't done enough yet. With 5:32, they got to move the ball. On first down, completion to Medio, and that will be a first down, I believe. Let's see where they mark it. It will be.
Well, Doug Strang hasn't done it yet, but he is certainly trying to. It's first down in a critical situation. He needs to keep the ball away from Alabama's offense, which is very hot right now. So what does he do on first down? He comes out and picks up a first down to his tight end, being DeMedio.
Remember last year we were here, Nebraska, Penn State. It came down to the last 4 seconds. What is it about this play?
And the tight ends have always been a factor.
Yeah. First down, 11-yard pickup. Strang to Skeeter Nichols, and he'll get to the 40. Pickup of 2, maybe at best 3. Scott McGray, 45, making the tackle.
Penn State needs to have 2 or 3 more first downs. Alabama has 2 timeouts remaining.
Second down, 8. A while ago, by the way, was Penn State's first down since midway in the 3rd quarter. Strang, the catch by Bow, another first down.
Look at the concentration in his eye. Kevin Bow says, take that, Jesse Bedros. They had a blitz on. You can see the blitz up in front. Kevin Bow has single coverage against a strong safety, Rocky Colburn, number 33. The ball is there. It's caught. It's a first down.
Joe Paterno said coming in here, I don't know what good defense is anymore. I think he's beginning to believe it again today. You give up these many points, score a lot, and you're still in trouble. First down. Delay. Dozier. He's on his way. And Dozier held it at the 24-yard line. Boy, did he explode through that line.
The balance of Penn State's offense this afternoon. We've seen what's the kind of day that Doug Strang has had. And here they're going to give it to their outstanding freshman tailback, 42, DJ Dozier. Picks up a block by his receiver, Kevin Bow. These receivers for both teams have been outstanding. Not only catching the ball, but watch them block. This is a complete football team. Number 11, Kevin Bow, is making room for DJ Dozier.
Freddie Robinson on the stop, a 24-yard run. Strang had some problems with the handoff. Loses a big yardage back outside the 25. And Joe Miff and a mix-up. Dozier, by the way, now has 163 yards, and with 3:30, Alabama needs to get the football. Dozier comes out now. John Williams replaces him. Second down, 14. Strang, dropped by Dominio.
He throws his mouthpiece down in disgust.
Well, he caught an 80-yard touchdown pass. He caught a pass on this drive that got their initial first down. He's played well.
Yes, but this was a situation when it was 2nd and 13. His team needed to keep the drive alive. If he catches this ball, he's got a lot of territory. It looks like he took his eye off it. There's the disgust.
Dozier comes back in. 3rd and 14. 3 minutes, 4 seconds left. Strang. Now, defending on the play was Stan Gay. So, Gatchitano will come in with a field goal attempt.
Six-point game or 9-point game?
This will be an attempt of 43 yards. He's hit 2 today. From 21 and 39. It's blocked. Stan Gay, I believe, was the man that blocked it. Emmanuel King comes up with it, and Alabama now is in excellent field position.
Roll Tide right up the right corner, number 28, Stan Gay. Not even close. He blocks that ball, and there's number 92, Emmanuel King, to make the recovery. Right up the right side, was never even touched.
So, Alabama, by the result of that, has the ball at their own 49-yard line with 2:56 left.
Oh, my.
This crowd is right now in a state of shock. Look to Ricky Moore. And Moore into the Penn State end of the field at the 48. Steve Stepter, 41, making the start. I want to thank our 2 people right now. We have a moment. That's Mike Swanson, our statistician, and Steve Bear, our spotter. It's been a busy day for them. What a job they've done. Thank you, man. Second down, 7. Good in motion. Movement on the line. No flag, though. Joey Jones at the 40. Joey Jones is out of bounds inside the 35-yard line. Mike Zordich made the stop, and right now, no one can seemingly stop this Alabama passing game.
Well, Mike Zordich is going to have to tighten his coverage up, but look how much room the number 4, Joey Jones, at the bottom of the screen has. Mike Zordich is nowhere to be seen. He catches the ball, he has his time to turn around, and pushes him out of bounds, but that's too much cushion to give him when you're only up by 6 points.
Lewis now 325 yards passing. From the 33, first down. This is good, and good to the 27-yard line. It'll bring up second down and 4, maybe 5. Scott Radisek on the tackle.
Walter Lewis matching wits with the Penn State defense. This time they take his wide receivers away, so he dumps the ball off to his back, Kerry Good, number 35, there for a pickup of 6.
Second down, 4. Pendros and Jones split to the top of the screen. And Penn State made some contact. Penalty flag. Lewis delivers to Jones. He gets out of bounds at the 20. That would be enough for the first down, but let's see what the mix-up was all about.
It looked like Ray Cattuso had jumped off sides there.
What was he drawn on? Ray Perkins must feel he's gone through a whole season today.
smooth, decline, first down.
You spotted it. It is Penn State offside. They refuse a penalty, have a first down at the 20.
With the presence of Walter Lewis, he knew he had a free play, went ahead with it, threw it to Joey Jones, and had the first down.
You got a glimpse at the time. 1:36 left. First down. Lewis complete to Chandler, and Chandler's inside the 15. He's to the 12, about 2 yards short of the first down. Bob White, Harry Hamilton.
A very concerned Penn State team right now because Walter Lewis is solving every puzzle. He's thrown the ball to his wide receivers when he's had to. But when they've been double covered, he's been able to find his tight end and his back.
Second down, 2. 1:07. Lewis to Ricky Moore, and Moore trying to crawl forward to get that first down. He needs to get to the 10.5, and they're going to spot it short of that. It'll be third down. Third down and still a yard. 2 tight ends coming in now. Grogan and Chandler, and timeout now called by Alabama. They have 1 remaining. Now there's some excitement here. There's been excitement everywhere. Let's go now to New York for a report, and Brett Musburger.
Thank you, Jerry. What a game. We'll go right back, but quickly in the Pac-10. 4 games now.
Brett, thank you. 45 seconds left. We've had 1,083 yards of offense today, and we still haven't decided our issue. Alabama has 590 of them. It's third down, almost 2 yards to go. 2 tight ends in now for the tie. Walter Lewis pitches back to Good, and Good has a first and goal for Alabama. But the time, 38 seconds, so stop the clocks as they move the chains. Alabama has another play call, do they?
3rd and 2, though, Gary, as we watch Terry Good pick up the first down again into the short side over to the right side. Doug Vickers, the tackle, through the key block there to lead for the first down.
They start the clock. 32 seconds. First and goal at the 6. Lewis. Ben Gross could not hang on. He was trying to stay in the end zone.
Isolated of Jesse Bendros. He was open, but the protection that Walter Lewis had all afternoon to throw the football. Jesse Bendros is trying to find an open area. He did find one. The ball is a little bit high and out of his reach.
That's one of the few that's been out of his reach. Lewis has completed 15 of his last 17 passes. He needs another one.
What a competitor he is.
Second and goal at the 6. Lewis, Jones. And now with 19 seconds, it's third and goal.
Joey Jones, this is against a full blitz, but Joey Jones comes inside against you-know-who, number 43, Mike Zordich. Lewis had some pressure on him, threw it out in front, but Joey Jones was open.
At the 6, third and goal. Lewis. He's going to run it, and that's going to take a lot of time. They have 1 timeout remaining, and they're going to have to use it. Alabama uses their last timeout with 8 seconds.
One more look at Walter Lewis. Now, he is trying to go over to Jesse Bendros, but he is well covered this time. You see Walter Lewis have to scramble. He's going to try to run it in here now, but the Penn State defense meets the challenge. 41, Steve Tefter makes the stop.
We have 8 seconds left. We're going to break away for a moment. Penn State hanging on. Alabama trying to take the lead. 8 seconds left. It's 4th and goal. The ball at the 4-yard line. This, by the way, if you recall, is the very same end zone that Penn State scored in to defeat the Nebraska Cornhuskers. It could be called a national championship end zone. Alabama make a big step here. is offside against Penn State.
A look at the play of Walter Lewis. Now, he gets pretty good protection early, but number 17, Harry Hamilton, comes in and is in his face right now. Walter Lewis does the best thing. He does not know there is a penalty there. He delivers the ball to number 86, Preston Gothard, a reserve tight end. The officials rule that he's out of the end zone.
What it amounts to now is a 2-yard penalty, half the distance to the goal. 1 second left.
One more look. Let's take another look at Gothard and see if he did keep his feet in the end zone. If he has possession and his feet are in, that should be a touchdown.
Boy, looks to me like he was in.
He agrees.
Now, Penn State has asked for a timeout. They have 2 left.
Let's take another look at 86, Preston Gothard. Now, he brings the ball down. His feet are in the end zone. His knee isn't touched the ground. That should be a touchdown. That should be 6 points for Alabama.
Joey Jones running near there thought it was. Well, Bendros earlier had a very close one. They gave it to him. This time they did not give it to Alabama. This is the 12th play on this drive. It all started after that blocked field goal. And we have come down to the last play of the game. 4th and goal from the 2. 1 second left. And maybe, just maybe, a national championship riding on this play. Lewis to good. He won't get there. Good, could not make it in, and Penn State wins it.
The clock never ran because the much maligned Penn State defense certainly rises to the occasion here. It was 4th and goal on the 2-yard line. They elected to run the football and run the football into the short side, a play that they've been successful all afternoon. But when it counted, the Penn State defense met the challenge.
And the man in particular was number 70, Greg Gattuso, and also 92, Mark Fruhan.
Terry Good, the young man who came 2 yards short of scoring on the last play of the football game.
And the goalposts are going to come down as Penn State, they have a way of winning dramatic games, don't they?
Another look at the play. This is the same play that Alabama had run successfully during the course of the game. They felt they could get 2 yards running the football rather than putting the ball up in the air on their last opportunity. Very good, but tremendous penetration by the Penn State defense. Gattuso, who's been around the football all afternoon. Fruhan, who's been maligned all year long, came in for Mark Robinson when he got hurt. They were there, both, to put the stop and a big win for Penn State.
And so Alabama's so close and yet so far. Penn State hanging on to win this one 34-28. Nittany Lions are now 3-3. 34-7. They have a first down at their own 44-yard line. Walter Lewis hits Ricky Moore, and the big fullback barrels ahead for a first down. All right, let's just kind of show you what graphically has happened in this game. First, this fumble.
It's been a day of turnovers, and Alabama's had 6 of them. You see the first one, it was 1st and goal on Penn State's 1-yard line. They turned the ball over right there. It's been a day of big plays as Doug Strang.
We'll take a look at those big plays in a moment, but right now, it's first down at the 32. That was a 24-yard pickup on that last pass completion. Lewis, Bendros, oh, what a catch. What a catch to the 1-yard line.
You said it was Oh, what a catch, and you are right, Gary Bender. Watch Jesse Pendrose, the deep ball. Walter Lewis, a cardinal sin by Penn State. We said they weren't going to give up the big play. Here they do. Jesse Pendrose over number 35, Mike Suter, first and goal on the 1.
31-yard completion. Pendrose has 4 catches, 82 yards. First and goal for the Tide. Walter Lewis to good. Touchdown.
The most important thing in college football is not necessarily to win, but to try to win and to keep trying to win. Give Alabama some credit. They were down 34-7. They had a sustained drive. They came down and put 6 more on the board. Kerry Good over the top.
And so Walter Lewis salved some wounds with that. 6 plays, 87 yards. It only took a minute and a half. Van Kippen, the point after. 34-14 is now our count at the 14-12 mark. We mentioned the turnovers and frustrations, but it's been a big day for big plays. Here's one of them.
None bigger than this from Doug Strong.
So be prepared with a kit of multi-purpose
Champions in Penn State in 1982, and they look like national champions today. Alabama, who's won 6 national titles. We may have an onside kick here. Penn State's expecting it. Terry Sanders will approach the ball. Nope, we kicked away. Kenny Jackson. And he's out of bounds at the 19. Let's go to New York now. For an update, here's Brent.
Gary, earlier today, the Texas Longhorns down to Oklahoma 28-16 right now.
Freddie Akers, a happy coach, and rightfully so. Penn State with the football. T.J. Dozier, Emmanuel King making the tackle. That's now for Dozier, 136 yards. Pat, I guess the question that a lot of viewers would have as they watch this game is how in the world did this Penn State team lose 3 football games?
It really is amazing, but coming into the season, the defense was supposed to play well. They played miserably at front at the beginning of the season. They had players playing out of the position, and they were trying to find someone to replace Todd Blackledge. They may have found that man today.
I think that's a very accurate statement. 2nd and 7. Doug Strang has been just an outstanding performer today. Here's Skeeter Nichols, and there's a very picturesque tackle. He is straightened up by King. Emmanuel King played well.
One of the other things, too, that Joe Paterno was concerned about with his team was, and particularly his offense, Gary, is that it played without a lack of precision. Again, today, they've really been on target. They played very well as a football team. They look like they know what they're doing, and they look like they're having some fun. That's what Joe wanted.
That's exactly what he said. Let's make it a fun game. It's fun when you play like this. Strang, here comes the freshman. He is very close to the first down. He had a 3rd and 5, and it may be a little bit short. This crowd, though, they just come alive when number 42 touches the ball. They're going to have to kick it. It's 4th down. Reynolds, George Reynolds, was an Army brat, moved all over the country. And today, he's done extremely well. He's averaging 44 yards. Richardson will go back. There he is. He had only 3 punts last year. Oh, he hit that one a mile high. Boy. Here's Richardson to the 31-yard line. That's Conlon again down there. A 48-yard kick by number 30. 12:08 left to play. And this young man is happy. T.J. Dozier. Those yards he has came on only 14 carries. Alabama had to get that on 45 attempts. Walter Lewis. Complete. And this man, Pendrose, is all of a sudden starting to make Penn State very nervous.
Walter Lewis keeps coming back to the same pass. Now, this is the one he had intercepted a little earlier, but he's had some success with it. Jesse Pendrose underneath number 43, Mike Zordich, the catch and the first down.
That's a 23-yard grab. He has 105 yards now on 5 catches. First down at the 46 of Penn State. Lewis again. And guess who's on the other end of it? Vendros out of Hollywood, Florida. He, more than anybody, Pat, was excited about their change in offense.
And he's caught a lot of balls today, but that can be misleading in a game like this today when you're down by the points that Alabama is today. Penn State, as we said before, are going to give them the short passes underneath, and that's what they're doing to Jesse Vendros.
Second down, a yard. Alder Lewis is coming out throwing. Here he goes on the option to Ricky Moore. Moore, first down. That's Conlon again, number 31. For a man that wasn't expected to even see any action, he's been called a lot defensively.
That was Alabama's fourth option play that they've run the entire game. They just do it just enough just so you have to defend against it.
Crossed him up and picked up 14 yards. Jones, Vendros split out. Crowd getting a little uneasy here. Lewis back. It's complete. Touchdown, Vendros. What a second half he's had. That's a 24-yard touchdown catch.
You have to like the determination of Jesse Vendros and Walter Lewis. They keep coming back. They keep coming after you.
7 catches, 137 yards. And we still have 11:14 to go. And what I was saying earlier, the crowd getting a little edgy right now. They are coming back a little bit. And Tippin point after attempt. And now it's 34-21.
This is the same pass that Jesse Vendros has caught 4 other times today. A little slant pass underneath the coverage. Good protection. That is the key to this pass. And well thrown past Mike Zordich that time, who was playing the play in front of the safety for the touchdown. Again, admire the determination. Again, the room underneath the coverage. But Walter Lewis and Jesse Vendros keep coming right after you. They're not going to give up.
What really made that tough was his vision was obscured there by the defender running right in front of him. But he had it. It's now a little bit closer. In the West, on a day that has been a joyous day for Penn State, but now the Penn State rooters starting to get a little edgy. As Alabama starting to storm back with 11:14 left of the game. Ray Perkins' crew hasn't given up. They trail 34-21. Now, is Alabama going to try the onside kick this time? Barry Sanders. Nope, kicking away. Kenny Jackson will let it hit. And Penn State will start from the 20-yard line. We have had a day of big plays, to say the least. That last one, characteristic of it, it only took 54 seconds, Pat, for them to strike the last time. And that's what Penn State was doing earlier. They were averaging 53 seconds to drive.
And the important thing for Penn State here offensively is keep their intensity up. They cannot go to sleep. They need another score.
Where did you get that sweater?
You like that? Got that at home. My wife picked it up.
So Penn State from the 20-yard line. First down. Mumford and Dozier in the backfield. Trying to Dozier. The defense, this time Randy Edwards, 96 equal. Oh. Hey, this is a family show. Second down, 11. You can see the defense fired up. And last strike had Randy Edwards ready to play.
They can force them to